Happy Tuesday, everyone! Back with another wonderful match of Prism Break. This is Prism Break number 24 here. I am Frostix, and this time I'm joined here by Pat. Pat, how are you feeling?
I am feeling great, Frostix, and I'm glad to be here for this Tuesday tournament. I'm not here that often because of Europe, but I'm glad I can get to do this with you, and I can't wait to see these teams fight in a Swiss and then in a bracket.
Yeah, that's true. I think this is going to be one of the first Prism Breaks in a hot while that we actually had a Swiss. For anyone that's been tuning into Prison Break over these last couple weeks, it's been jumping straight into bracket and double elim. But this time, we finally have enough people to start doing a group stage here. So exciting fights to potentially see from our teams here. Our first game here was, if I remember correctly, this is oh 07 Honor Bound versus the 12th Arcana here. The 12th Arcana is running, by the looks of things, that was a stamper that I saw in another traditional comp here. oh 07 Honor Bound is running a Carbon on this Zones Umami match. Pat, take it away.
But we have two very different teams on the side of oh 07. It's very much a classic one, except the Carbon is going to give extra aggro to the team, allow them to fight incredibly fast. On the other side, it's much more mid-range and short-range action. The Arcana are going to try to get into this fight with the whole team, whereas Honorbound are more like a spear with that Carbon, but the Carbon is down right now. Both teams are still fighting around mid. It looks like oh 07 is forced to move away. Nathan, though, still around with that splash, is looking to get a splat and is going to punish the Tri-Slasher here.
Yeah, no one on the 12th Arcana managed to spot the sneaky splash lying in wait here. And of course, when a Carbon pushes ahead, they get slightly punished here. And with a couple of strikes coming in from the 12th, or from, is that oh 07 Honor Bound? Yeah, from oh 07 Honor Bound, they're going to take zone back here. They're going to push their tick further down. I think they're managing to take back lead here. The 12th Arcana loses their lead, and Toad is under pressure by Honor Bound's Carbon. The Carbon goes down, and now the Zipcaster is coming out from the 12th Arcana. Toad has the Booyah Bomb ready to rip, and Warriors under threat by Vinox. Vinox goes down mid. Zipcaster here. Masamune is going to go down to a straight burst bomb by the looks of Nathan, and Nathan is just controlling the fight here, controlling the area. They have Toad in their sights, and Toad goes down here. Stellar work by Nathan and the rest of oh 07 Honor Bound.
Yeah, Honor Bound keeping the zone for now. No penalty was applied. Now they're making a bit more points. We can see that Carbon sharking to the side. The 12 Arcana are waiting, preparing, and now that they have the specials ready, they're going to try to get in, but Honorbound is waiting for them. The Carbon is getting a trade right now. The Crab Tank is answering from Nathan, and Arcana, they managed to get one zone, but you need to get both.
And it's looking like they are trying to open this fight for the next zone with Toad's Booyah Bomb. Toad's immediately going to go down to a slam by Halo's Carbon. Carbon's going to go down to Josh's Splash-O-Matic here. The 12th Arcana are here, and here to stay, but not for long with Warrior and Nathan on the scene from Honor Bound in order to take back zone here. They're at 32 points, a stellar lead over the 12th Arcana's 83, and the strikes come flying in from Warrior up on the top of the rectangle. The 12th Arcana is going to respond immediately back here, and they're gonna take zone. They're gonna take out the Carbon, and they're gonna lose zone again here. It's just back-to-back action. No one is spared.
But the 12 Arcana managed to apply penalty. That gives them a little bit of time to regroup, to prepare the next push. And here comes the next push here. The Crab Tank and the Booyah Bomb are gonna come together as the 12 Arcana are moving forward. Masamune right now getting on top of mid, and it's cornering completely Honor Bound and cleaning up two players down. This time the Arcana are in control.
Yeah, Masamune's bucket is not to be messed with. I think I remember seeing them a lot on Paddling Pool here. I remember correctly. They were like really aggressive. Masamune's really aggressive. And not aggressive, but like can take control really well and make good plays to hold the front line down here. They're down, and off their penalty points, they're ticking down, ticking fast. They're going to move past the 50 thresholds, and Vinox going to pop the Zipcaster straight into Honor Bound's backline here. Do they have a response to the Zipcaster? It doesn't look like that's the case. That's a Booyah Bomb coming out from Toad. Halo's pushing it. the strikes are coming out from Honorbound. I think they're slowly starting to trickle forward, and the 12th Arcana has just taken lead back from Honorbound. Honorbound needs to act fast, but they just can't find a way to make it out of spawn. Nathan's jumping back here. No one is going to touch zone here as time is ticking by, and with a KO, a reverse sweep, the 12th Arcana will take game 1. Pat, what an intense game.
Honorbound, they were holding the zone very well, but very especially good at laying down trap, at beating the 12 Arcana when they were in their own turf, when they were able to shock to the side. The second 12 Arcana were able to really take control of the map, knew where everybody from Honorbound was. It was so hard for Honorbound to push. They really struggled to get anywhere, and the Arcana really staggering all of their specials, putting them in one after the other to make sure that there was constantly pressure on Honorbound, and Honorbound not able to really go through. In the end, we saw both teams having a wonderful hold onto the zone, but the 12 Arcana just a bit longer, a bit more control right there.
Yeah, exactly here. I'd definitely like to commend the 12th Arcana's use of just special movement, making sure that at least they have the special at the right time. You don't want to at least throw out a pivotal special, like say Vinox, like say I think the tri-strikes, or like Toad's Booyah Bomb specifically, that can already immediately secure one zone. Hell, even, well, what's it called? Maybe even, actually no, not on Umami Ruin. There's a really big rectangle that can divide both zones here. However, a map that does not have a big rectangle in between it is Inkblot Art Academy. That's gonna be, oh, that's not even zones actually. That's gonna be Inkblot TC. Why did I think this was zones?
Yeah, we are changing mode each game. So yeah, Inkblot TC, very much the classic tower control map, which is going to be pretty fun to watch both of these teams, because both of these teams like to play off of their momentum, like to get into these fights and maintain their presence. Tower control is the mode of momentum, is the mode where once you have something going your way, more things are going to go your way. And both of these teams like to play off of their momentum, so I expect to see even wider swings that we just saw, if it's possible, because this is the mode for it.
Yeah, especially considering the frontline players for each team. Halo was running the Carbon. I'm excited to see what potentially a Carbon could run here. And Vinox really deadly with the Splatana Stamper, specifically when they pop Bazooka. Both teams also like to run Bucket in 12th Arcana's case, that's Masamune. And in terms of 07 Honorbound, that's Warrior. Masamune's back on Tri-Slosher. Josh is on Splatter Shot here. And we're seeing a similar comp from 07 Honorbound here. We're going to see the teams rushing out of spawn, and it's looking like someone's taking a flank from both sides as well. That's Vinox, assisted by Toad. They have Warrior in their sights here, and that's 2 down, 3 down from the
Warrior.
12th Arcana. Already within the first couple seconds of the match, 07 Honorbound has ramped up the pressure, and Halo already has sets on on the backside of the 12th Arcana spawn. I think they're going to be held off a bit by the Trizuko coming in from Josh, and Vinox is sitting lying in wait. Brandon managing to take out Toad. That's a good pick to take out anyone flanking, and Vinox going to take the Tower Rider. It's just Halo left, and Warrior's just on stacks here. Halo's going to go down, and Warrior's the last one left on Honorbound as the tables turn, going into a push for the 12th Arcana.
Yeah, I mean, after that huge first fight that Honorbound got, only losing the first checkpoint is pretty nice for Arcana, and now it's their turn to be on the attack, and they're not wasting a second going up there. Toad with the Booyah Bomb is going to secure a bit more ground, and that's a lead swap right away. And look at that, Arcana, they are eyeing that top platform. They want to get in. The Crab Tank is deployed, and 2 players are down. Make that 3 Honorbound able to defend the tower is going to move back into the middle.
Of course, you cannot debate the amount of firepower a Crab Tank can bring, especially when Nathan has plopped it up on such an advantageous position here. Josh has their eyes set on potentially 2 members of Honorbound. Another 2 members have already gone down to begin with. It's just Warrior and Halo. Halo has the Zuka ready to rip just in case. I think they have Josh in their sights. They're just lying in wait, as all Carbon tend to do. Does Josh notice the Carbon lying in the backline, and the Zukas have come out, and they respond quickly. It's a trade here. Both Halo and Josh go down, and it's looking like the 12th Arcana's push comes to an untimely close here, assisted by shots from the Zuka from the back and shots from the Crab Tank on the front here.
That push is over. Now we'll see what happens next. Already 2 players down. What an incredible Zipcaster by the Knocked right here. And the 12 Arcana are going to get another push thanks to that Zipcaster. And now the Booyah Bomb is going to secure things. But they know that the Carbon is behind them. You can't do that twice and not expect Arcana to be ready for it. Yep, they were ready, but they were not able to push deep onto the platform, which means the rest of Honorbound was able to stand strong in their defense. Now the 12 Arcana, they just lost a bunch of players. That's going to be another push for Honorbound.
Yeah, and not to mention, they have a lot more special going into this push here. Halo is making clean work of more members of the 12th Arcana, at least in the side areas of Inkblot. Josh is struggling to find their ground as they jump back here. Mid is very unsafe to all members of the 12th Arcana. Masamune is running from incoming grenades from Nathan's Crab Tank. They're going to toss the Fizzy Bomb. That's already really good to provide a lot of pressure. And Nathan is on a duel with Toad. I think that's a Zuka coming out from Josh. Nathan meant to lie in wait, taking out Toad. That's a really good pick, especially since blasters can be so oppressive in TC. It's looking like Vinoct had Nathan in their sights. They're going to play around stacks here. That's really good for a shooter to do. Do they notice that Nathan is here again? And they managed to. Vinoct is stepping on spikes here. They have the Zipcaster ready to go. It's just a matter of timing, wondering where the strikes are coming out here. The rest of the 12th Arcana is starting to get displaced, but they're on soda buff. They can take this fight really confidently, but they're under fire from everything, from buckets, from Brandon's shots, from burst bombs, and Vinoct is going down to the burst bomb here. Such a stellar defense, and making sure that mid is constantly in their control from Honorbound. They just need to get this lead back, and the lead is very obtainable. They have a minute left to work with.
A minute is not much, and both of these teams have the same plan of stopping whatever the other team is doing. Both of these teams are able to flank to the side, maintain constant pressure, but now Honorbound, they can't do that anymore. They have to push forward. They have to clean things up and get a clean push. Halo getting onto the tower, refreshing it a little bit. They need to get in, but right now it's a 2 versus 2 Frostix, and people are not stopping. We're really watching a deathmatch at this point.
This could just be whoever has the highest KD gets all the bragging rights, but Warrior is jumping on the tower. Nathan is taking the off angle here. You're going to take out Vinoct first here. Vinoct is a really good target to take out first. They're just contesting Raptors here. They're under fire from Toad, from everyone else, from the 12th Arcana here. Will they make it at least to the first checkpoint here? It's just Nathan left. Nathan's going to pop the crab here. They're under fire from shots from here. And it's overtime here. It's just Vinoct, Warriors, and I think someone from the 12th Arcana managed to jump on tower while no one else was on it. It's looking like the 12th Arcana take game 2.
And just a few points means the 12 Arcana are up 2-0. Winning this set, but I mean, it's a playoff 3. We're going to see a game 3, and I'm glad we get to see a game 3 because that was close, Frostix.
That was deadly close, yeah, especially within the final couple minutes of the match. No one seemed to be able to make it out of mid, or dare I say, maybe even past the first checkpoint here. The pressure and the amount of control both teams can provide within this single TC match is insane here. They have so much weapons that can provide a lot of good paint and a lot of good zone control here. Both teams are, of course, running the bucket here, Warrior and Masamune. The front lines from both teams can be very devastating. What's it called? Halo's backline pressure. The fact that barely they managed to go unscathed here, at least for the first attempt here.
I mean, that was such a constant fight for mid, with both teams getting the outplay on the other, but the rest of the team was getting splattered, which means we had to constantly watch that back and forth. I mean, Honorbound, they just showed that they can do it, that they're not that far from the 12 Arcana, that they can get a game up of them. but the 12 Arcana a tiny bit more solid. Now going on to the most volatile mode of all, which is Rainmaker. Can the 12 Arcana hold that line, or can Honorbound really finally get it?
It's not just Rainmaker that we're going to on game 3. This is Rainmaker Manta Maria here. That is definitely a much more volatile Rainmaker map, in my opinion. You have a lot of fights erupting in mid, and then once you get past the first checkpoint here, it's obviously a debate. Do you go for the jump here that can easily be contested here, or do you end up sticking the fight within street on Manta Maria? It's definitely, you need to make a very quick choice in order to advance further in Rainmaker on this map.
Yeah, it's a map all about choices, and also all about flanks and ways to get to a side. You are covered. There's a lot of elevation of cover that mostly covers your sight. You don't know where the opponent is until they appear out of nowhere, which both of these teams like to use. So we're going to see even more flanks, even more there's constantly someone behind you. But at this point, both of these teams know that's that part of the deal.
Yeah, here. Oh, that's not That's not Manta Maria. That was Undertow Spillway. That was Undertow Spillway in disguise here. The 12th Arcana is now running 2 Splatanas here. That is a very interesting switch up going into their third game of this play all 3 set here. I can't believe all of our... Oh, okay, no, it wasn't.
I mean, we're resetting. We're resetting.
That's right. I was about to say, I can't believe all of our analysis about Manta Maria was for nothing.
No, we get to see it, and the 12 Arcana, they wanted to play onto Manta. Having a Wiper Deco on Manta Maria is honestly a very good idea. It's a very, very long map, and one of the maps where beacons is the most useful, as well as the missiles.
Yeah, especially with considering a lot of areas within Manta Maria tend to get very cramped here. It's always right past the first checkpoint, as well as the side cubbies in mid, as well as the forward, as well as the upper platform on Manta Maria. Those are really those are spots that missiles can cover in their entirety and could potentially leave the rest of 07 Otterbound with nowhere to run here. Not to mention the beacons can of course provide the team a lot more mobility. That's also a headed. I just realized we failed to notice Josh's headed.
Yeah, and thing to note is that I think the Wiper Deco is the lowest range in the team for 12 Arcana. They have 4 mid-range weapons.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting that they're running like a lot of weapons that have a lot more mid-range compared to 07 Honorbound that has a lot more, at least in terms of their weapon ranges, are a lot more spread out here. That's a Booyah Bomb going to be tossed by Toad here, but the rest of 07 Honorbound is going to go make the jump. Their choice is made. They've crashed the first checkpoint in their favor, skipping Street in their entirety, but the brawl in Street happens nonetheless. Warrior and Halo are pushed up. They're going to take out Josh, and they're going to start moving forward. Pat, break this last play down.
Yep. That is good points coming. Masamune is splatted. Oh, so is the Stamper. Wait, on the bound. Almost getting a KO, and it's not over. We're still on 2v2. Okay, it looks like it's only the Slusher left standing. They're grabbing the Rainmaker and dropping it away. I do not blame them at this point. You want to reset. You want to get rid of all these problems. Honorbound getting to 1 now. The 12 Arcana, they know the job. They need a KO, Frostix.
Yeah, 07 Otterbound immediately set the terms and conditions of this match within the first couple of seconds.
Warrior.
Those are already 2 people down on the 12th Arcana. Toad's gonna pop the Booyah Bomb. That's Toad going down, and now it's Josh and Masamune left on point. Halo is making a mad dash with the Rainmaker here. I think that 10 missiles on them before they managed to go down here. They at least parked the Rainmaker for a spot that the 12th Arcana can play in, and Masamune is already playing within streets. The brawl is happening. I think Josh is just trying to make sure they can have a clear spot to slam the first checkpoint down, but they're gonna have a little bit of interruption from Nathan's Crab Tank here. That's a lot of firepower that Otterbound can bring. That's not just also a Trash Strike. Josh is gonna take out Halo with the Rainmaker, and Josh is trying to make the jump. Interrupted by Nathan!
There's constantly a player sharking around, ready to stop you, to ruin your day, and Nathan is still lurking, splatting the Rainmaker again and going for another lap. is going to be called out and stopped. That's a checkpoint for the 12 Arcana, but Honorbound wasting a lot of time right there and forcing the 12 Arcana to regroup, prepare now. Can they get to the goal?
That being said, what you said about the 12th Arcana's weapon range, this could be a little bit volatile for them because they are all mid-range weapons set aside from Masamune's Viper Deco here, and that isn't even the more frontline oriented Viper. Can they survive in this much more close quarters map, especially considering you have Halo, you have Nathan in the way, Halo's gonna pop the Zuka, but they're flushed out of range from Josh and the rest of the 12th Arcana. They're moving in, they're moving fast, but no one's noticed Nathan! They're gonna sweep up 3 people from the 12th Arcana here. It's looking to be 4. And it was just Toad. Toad is on point. They're gonna call Masamune to the Honor-bound spawn, and they're just gonna get cleaned with Nathan on the crab and with everyone else in tow. Masamune is just being forced to go back to mid, but they have an immediate grab back on the Rainmaker.
I mean, it is non-stop. Both of these teams really fighting for patience. Patience, you want to be sure you can get in before you bring the Rainmaker. And Honorbound, between the Carbon and the Splash, they know they only need to just make themselves get to the side, or just kill the Rainmaker with Burst Bombs. That works as well. 12 Arcana back to the drawing board, not able to get the Rainmaker off of mid.
They almost have 1 minute left on the clock here. They just need to, of course, beat 07 Honor-bound score of 1. Warrior's gonna go down because of Toad's versatile blaster range. Toad's Zuka's coming, not the Zuka, Toad's. Oh, Nathan is once again running with the Rainmaker! Do they notice that Nathan is there? I think they may just be able to get a KO. They're under the chase by Toad!
No! What was this push?
With a devious steal all the way from back line. 07 Honor-bound managed to get another knockout. Holy!
Well played. Well played.
What an insane play from 07. From 07 Honor-bound, just managing to take the last game in their favor.
And what a way to take it. I mean, they got to 1. They didn't need to do anything else. Nathan could have stayed there, waited for someone else to grab the Rainmaker, splatted it, and that would have been the game. But they had to make a show out of it. They had to get the K. Oh, incredible game by Honorbound. Respect.
It's not just the fact that Nathan was able to run with the Rainmaker. Nathan was running laps around everyone in the 12th Arcana here, and that's something that Splash can surprisingly can do really well for a more perhaps I guess what's called midline oriented weapon, or what's it called, something that could provide a lot more paint here. Even when 07 Honor-bound was very close to getting it here, they set the terms at 1. Here, basically putting pressure on the rest of 12th Arcana for the entire game here. That just basically allowed Honor-bound to play really silly.
Hey, I mean, Honor-bound, they lost that set technically, but they still made a show. They still made a statement that they're here to fight. Very, very nice game by them.
It's really, really funny to see just someone grab Rainmaker all the way from mid and just make a mad dash to the other side. Oh, do you think now would be a good time to call a break? It probably would be.
Yeah, it probably is.
No worries here. Of course, don't leave your keyboards yet, chat. We are going to be back with more Prism Break action in due time, so stay tuned.
And welcome back to I was about to say something. Prison Break 25. We are now in round number 2 of Swiss, about to watch Geomancy versus Exington. I am Pat, against with Frostic. Frostix, how you doing?
We're just hot off the press of '07 Honor Bound Stellar Game 3, and now we're here to see Geomancy and Extinction here. We're going Game 1 into Zones, Crab Leg. Great city, we're back at it again here. Looking to potentially see a lot of deadly special usage to clear people out of mid here, especially since this could be volatile.
Yeah, this could be very volatile indeed. Let's get right into the game. Crab Leg on Splat Zones is a lot about who has the most range. Right now, we see Geomancy bringing a pencil. On the other side, Extington with a Wellstring. That's a bit less range. So if Bronze can set themselves up on top of that grade, Extington will need a lot of specials to get in.
Yeah, especially considering Geomancy is running Geomancy's running definitely a more frontline oriented team comp. That is a Tetra as well as a Decapitator. The ball string is going to go down on the side of Extinction, but the shot is going to go down on the side of Geomancy, and Extinction is going to take first point here. Maybe not with a lot of things contesting them, but Ali is just running circles with the Tetra dually, something that Tetra is definitely known for doing, and Geomancy is going to take zone back. Echo and the rest of Geomancy is just running back to flush the rest of Extinction out, and lead has been swapped, Pat.
Yeah, Extinction right now trying to move back in, already on the attack, but Reef Slider getting behind on the zone. But zone was only neutralized. Oh well, Extinction able to apply a penalty now. Can they stay in? Both teams are looking at each other, ready for a fight. We see who is able to get this one.
Yeah, it's really interesting that a lot of the fights are happening on the ground and not from an elevation, especially on a map like Crab Leg, but both teams seem to be running a lot more aggressive comps here. We are seeing a lot of aggression, especially from Geomancy here. They managed to win a Reef Slider off here. What's it called? The Decapitator's popping the bubble just in time to make sure that Extinction can't make it a little bit further, blocking any shots. That's 2 down from Geomancy here, and only 1 down from 2 down on Extinction, and only 1 down from Geomancy. And Echo is moving in with the shot here. They're in the back line here. They don't have a Bazooka ready to roll, but they're accompanied by Ali. Extinction does have lead. It's 55-71. They're gonna go down to Ali's Tetra dualies, and Echo has the Bazooka ready to go in their spawn here. That is something interesting to see, and it's only Honukane.
The Wellstring is behind, is completely surrounded right now. Geomancy able to take control of the game, and now that they're in that position, it's going to be so rough. Ali with the Tetras maintaining that pressure. Extinction are getting all of their specials as they're able to get the splat onto the Tetras, and now dropping in. Wait, they don't get it.
They don't get it. They don't get it because they were blocked by Geomancy's Big Bubbler, courtesy of the Decapitator. Something that I'm so glad to be seeing played a lot, if you ask me here. Geomancy's having a very tricky time trying to approach Extinction here, especially considering the firepower they bring. They have the half gallon, they have Honukane with the Wellstring that can provide a lot of, that can chop up some dangerous territory for Geomancy's front lines. Ali's gonna go down here. I think they have, Echo has the Zuka ready to rip here, but they are just getting a taste of their own medicine. They're just being forced back into their spawn like what Geomancy did earlier. Echo's gonna use the Zuka. Can they find any targets? Can they at least get a couple of zones here to just not lose lead? But they do lose lead here. They need to act fast, and time is running down.
Time is running down, and the Decapitator just fell right now. The Reef Slider is enough to capture the zone. Geomancy buying themselves some time now. They need to take control because Extinction is still around the zone. Extinction is still fighting. And right now, that Zuka could decide a lot. The Zuka is punished! And Extinction gets back control with the numbers advantage. Bronze needs to move back, save that special for later.
think Bronze managed to get a cheeky pick onto Extinction's half gallon. They managed to take out Comet as well. That's one less Reef Slider to worry about if you're Geomancy. They have a minute left on the clock here. They need to make this hold count here. They need to make sure Extinction can't get any more ground because the amount of paint that they could output onto their spawn is insane. They take out the Wellstring. That's a really important target. Echo pops out Bazooka. The Cavitator has the Big Bubbler, and Ali's still managing to weave in and out of fights. They get outnumbered by Comet and Hornet. Ooh. Comet's running out. They're gonna take out Echo, but they're gonna take their Echo's gonna be. Oh, Comet's gonna be taken out by Bronze. I think Bronze is once again the last one left on point here. Ali is on the scene once again, but all 4 members of Extinction are on zone here. They have this hold locked down.
It's a 1-point difference between these two teams right now. Geomancy are cleaning up, are getting back their control, put themselves back in the position that they want to have. Extinction activating the tactical, preparing the push. They know they don't have much time. We are in the end game right now. This next push, this next fight is going to decide everything. The zone is flipped in the nick of time. Extinction is going to win this one.
Such an intense and aggressive show from both teams as well. A 1-point differential leading to Extinction taking game number 1 here, Pat. Such an insane showcase here.
That was less than a second on the zone. That could have decided the whole game. But in the end, Extinction just a tiny bit better. But these two teams, they're evenly matched. They're very much evenly matched. If we make these two teams play it again, it's another coin flip. Like, this was really, really close.
Yeah, I'd specifically like to say how both teams managed to go slider for slider at a lot of different fights here. Both Ali as well as Comet managing to provide a lot of good zone flips using the Reef Slider. Once again, a special that I'm just so glad to see is used specifically in zones, especially for... I honestly feel like Reef Slider could be underrated at times here, but not to mention, I'd say OBT could be really good with providing a lot of good, coverage of the zone here, moving in and out of fights, of course, with the Cavitator's movement as well as the Big Bubbler here. That could obviously prevent a lot of kills from happening here. We're going into game number 2. This is Barnacle and Dime on Clan Blitz.
Yeah, our first Clan Blitz of the night. That's,
okay.
And I really like the dynamic that Barnacle has, because you can take a lot of control around the map. It's still very, very rough to push. You still need to have everything ready so you can get a push. So you really need to win 2 fights in a row before you can get it. So you can really see how teams are able to coordinate, solidify, and make sure that they make this push happen.
Yeah, I really like how you say that you need to win 2 fights in order to actually get a push going. You need to obviously win 1 at mid, and then another one at the basket here. That's a lot to ask for from both teams here. Bronze is running the Rapid Pro Deco. That's really interesting, and Extinction is running a whole lot of the usual. That's a very interesting switch up from Geomancy.
Yeah, Geomancy, they don't have a tacticular anymore. That Rapid Pro will allow them to go faster, for sure, but they are also, they have a bit less safety, and they don't have the tacticular boon. So we'll see how that works out. Right now, both teams are fighting for mid, and it looks like that fight is going the way of the Extinction, who won the first fight. Now they need to win the second.
And it's looking like the second fight is already in their favor as the clam economy favors Extinction.
Oh!
The barrier is broken and Comet is already sliding in. Dude, they take out 2, and the clams keep flying in from Extinction. A lot of good control coming from Bread on the front lines, and Hornet zipping through as well. They managed to take out Ali as well here. They're undershots from Zuko from OBT's Decapitator, but the clams somehow just keep coming in from Honukane here. And it's looking like the rest of Extinction is slowly starting to back out and managing to at least make sure mid can stay in their control. It's Hornet and Honukane here. They're under fire, and 2 of them both go down here. It's up to Geomancy now to make sure the clam economy is in their favor and make sure they can win this first fight.
That was the first minute of the game, Frosty. Extinction riding the momentum that they had in the previous game and looking even stronger than they were. Now Geomancy coming with the answer, activating Bazooka, finding one, getting a few too many trades though. They won't be able to get all the control. It's just their Tetras standing into mid. That means they're going to get the super jumps in, but they don't have a push yet.
They are close to a power clam. Ali has 7, and it's looking like they do pick it up here. Ali has the Zipcaster, but now Echo's going down. That's already 1 member down here. OBT is going down. That's 2. Bread has Ali in their sights, as well as, I think, Ali again. Ali's going down, and Bronze is jumping back with the power clam. They at least have 2 power clams in their presence here. But Extinction's gonna just respond with a clam of their own, and with control to boot here, they have the Zipcaster here. Not the Zipcaster, but the Wave Breaker. They're gonna take out Bronze, but Harukin's gonna catch a straight from Echo's Azuka. That's a wipeout from Extinction. They only have 2 people at the basket, but that's enough to at least break the barrier and start throwing more clams in, pushing their lead further.
Extinction, these two teams fight pretty evenly, but Extinction respawn faster right now, and that is paying off for them. They're just 1 super clam away from victory, but Geomancy is answering the call, answering the fight, getting a splat after splat and cleaning up around that basket. Now, with we're more than halfway through the game, Geomancy needs to score, and they need to score incredibly big.
Yeah, they need to at least make sure their presence is known. They need to execute a push without any flaw, but it's looking like they're having a little bit of trouble making it past mid with Hornet and Comet. Comet's gonna slide in with the Reef Slider. Echo's gonna take out Hornet in time. That's 3 people down. That's 3 people down. That's a wipeout. This is Geomancy's opportunity to score big. That's 2 power clams in from Geomancy. Ali's gonna toss some more in. They make it to 39 off their first person. OBT is coming in with a 3rd, but it gets negated by Extinction, and there's already 2 down from Geomancy here. Ali,
can you get it?
They can't get it here! Even with a miraculous push at their hands, Geomancy cannot get to Extinction's lead here. They have 1 minute 23 seconds left on the clock to make one more push work. They're already at Extinction's doorstep, and they need to make this push count.
The Geomancy just used everything right there, but now they need to do it again. Extinction now fighting around. They know that they can't rest easy. They know that the comeback is possible. But Geomancy, they have a super clam ready. 1 minute left and 2 players down onto Extinction. This could be another good fight for Geomancy, who are getting the splats right now. Frostix, are we getting another Comet? Shutting things down. Is this enough? Ali is going to make another super clam. They have a Reef Slider ready. Are they getting in? They're eyeing that basket, Frostix.
They still have 2 other members of Geomancy with them. They have the Reef Slider. They can do what they can pull a reverse Comet and pull the Supernova onto Extinction. They're down 1 power clam. They feel that one's gonna last. Ali's popping the Reef Slider in an very uneventful time, but they are managing to drive the rest of Extinction off of their Bread is intercepting Bronze, but Echo keeps the power clam in their presence, but Bronze was the only one. Echo was the only one left on Geomancy, being forced to jump back. There's 12 seconds left on the clock. They need to make this work in overtime, but Extinction is already at Geomancy's doorstep.
They need to go across the whole map with a target on their back right now. This is so rough for Geomancy. Extinction getting in, Reef Slider punishing everything. This is so rough. It looks like Extinction is going to get this game as well, and they open the basket just to seal the deal.
Such an insane game, even from both teams as well here. But as we saw from this game too, clearly, Extinction just provided so much more pressure onto onto Geomancy here. That will take the sets, but of course it's playoff 3. Geomancy gets 1 more game in their pocket here to show what they got on this Prism break, and what they got is the works of a really good show, especially with that last push.
I feel like the switch to Rapid Pro was not the move for Geomancy. They lost their Tacticular, they were respawning slower, which meant Extinction was getting more from the fights. And on Barnacle, Pencil is very, very good. Like, that amount of range allows you to do a lot. With that range differential, the Wellstring was able to apply more pressure, and Extinction was getting more momentum, as we saw right there. Now, if Geomancy switch things up a little bit, they can get back and at least get game 3, but they need a plan for it. They need to make it work. Knowing that the map mode should be... I've got...
Hagglefish Tower.
Oh, yes. Hagglefish Tower.
I think definitely that map mode could be the call to start switching up, especially considering Geomancy's comp is definitely a lot more frontline oriented. They're running both the Decapitator as well as the Tetra, and they're running against Extinction's comp, which can be a lot more, not only safer to play because of Bread on the end zap, which can give them the Tacticooler, but has a lot more options at range here. They have Comet on the Dreadringer, living up to their name whenever they pop Zuka, or whenever they pop Reef Slider, as well as the 52 Gallon being able to just provide so much paint output as well as damage.
Yeah, as you said, let's get right in the game. Last chance for Geomancy. They bring back the pencil, and that's a very good move, I think, on the side of Extinction. It's been working, don't change it.
Yeah, exactly here. No changes on the side of Extinction. We're not only seeing Bronze switch back to the pencil, but OBT is going to do a switch up onto the Vanilla Bucket. That's definitely good here to match Comet's Dreadringer. And Ali's already making work here. They managed to take out Bread. That's no Soda for Extinction, but Extinction's still managing to keep up a lot more pressure onto Geomancy even when they started pushing. And now Comet's shooting past here. They're going to take Tower and move towards first checkpoint. Now, first checkpoint is definitely something that could potentially be a stall point for Extinction here, considering what Geomancy's new comp can output here. The Zuka is flying out, and they managed to take out Honukane, that's no backline, and Bread as well, that's no Soda.
Yeah, securing the checkpoint right there is so important for Geomancy. They bought themselves a lot of time, a lot of effort in the next defense, but right now they need to take control, they need to push forward, and it looks like both teams are back into neutral, trying to find a way in. Echo needs to move away, respect what Extinction is doing, but right now the zap is down again on the side of Extinction. Geomancy looking to use that advantage. If they win the fight, they could get a push, but it looks like Extinction is winning more and more fights for Jigs.
Yeah, even when Bread can't catch a break from Extinction here, Geomancy just can't catch a break from Extinction here, as they still manage to hold their 65 lead over their 98. But Geomancy's 2 down. Extinction has potentially the makings for a good push to finally make it out of checkpoint 1, and Comet is just sitting on the steps here, making use of Dreadringer's ability to just shoot over ledges, and once again soaring like a shooting star into spawn with the Reef Slider. They make it to checkpoint 2, and no one's actually going to contest them, especially on such a volatile checkpoint 2.
Extinction riding that momentum right now. They got past the checkpoint. The answer from Geomancy is coming, but they lost 2 players. The tower is going to be taken back. Echo is down. Extinction is not stopping, and they are now cruising to that third and final checkpoint. They want the 3-0. They want the KO, but Geomancy is still alive, able to push things away. Now, that was the first half of the game, and that first half was all Extinction. Can Geomancy get back? Can they? I mean, they've shown that they can fight now. Can they fight enough to push the tower?
They need to make it out of mid here, especially with Bread, Comet, and Honukane standing stalwart here. They need to make sure they can get out of mid. Someone from Extinction just jumped back here. I think that's one less person from Extinction to worry about. They just need to make it past. Comet is going for a flank by the looks of things, but actually they think they hold it off, especially considering, OBT's already gone down. They have Echo in their sights moving in, and they managed to take out Echo with a Reef Slider. I think, but Ali managing to take out Comet in return, and Bread's gonna take out Ali. It's trade after trade after trade. Bread's gonna go down to OBT. Geomancy's not gonna let Extinction go down without a fight here. They don't want to let them get out of mid. They need to make sure mid is in their grasp here, or else everything could potentially go wrong.
The trades are not stopping. Geomancy still trying to find a way forward, as Ali is dancing around with this Tetris, not able to find much, and is targeted by the whale, has to move. And Geomancy are are still defending. They are not able to push that tower. They're not able to even get to that tower right now.
Yeah, the amount of range that Extinction has over Geomancy here could potentially have always been their downfall from the beginning. As Geomancy's numbers are dwindling, they're 2 down, they are without their front lines, and Extinction is once again starting the push machine, moving past checkpoint 1 here. They're under fire from OBT, from Bronze here. Comet has Bronze in their sight, they're playing under the tent here. I think that was Ali. Comet's going to pop out the Zuka here, but shielded by the Sponge. Ali's going to make sure Comet's in a sticky situation, getting KO'd, getting splattered by Bronze here. And the rest of Geomancy is going to move into mid. They have 38 seconds left on the clock to beat 14. They basically need to get this they need to get a knockout equivalent in order to get this. There's 3 down! And it's a wipeout! It's a wipeout! They can take this out within the last 30 seconds. They need to push this into overtime. But now Extinction's on the defense, and Extinction's defense is nothing to scoff at.
Geomancy is alive. They have the momentum now. They need to keep going forward to get more. They have the first checkpoint. They need 2 more if they want to get the win right now. And they're already on the second with the Tacticular, but all of Extinction is able to jump on the tower right in time for the bell to ring. That's a 3-0 for Extinction.
That even when even when what was it? Even when Geomancy had the makings of a potentially good final overtime push in the making, something that you always need to watch out for with Hagglefish Market TC is that second checkpoint, considering how close it is to the enemy spawn here. The opposite team, Extinction, will already be right back as soon as you start pushing here, and that's immediately what Extinction did.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful moves right there. Extinction, I mean, they took control of that game very early, getting more and more splat. And one thing to note is that Extinction, they didn't get a wipeout onto Geomancy. They were constantly fighting forward and winning these fights little by little, getting more ground, getting more players advantage, but they didn't get a full wipeout. Geomancy, they won one big fight at once. They got one chance, but then they were not able to stagger Extinction the way Extinction staggered Geomancy. In the end, it was too little too late for Geomancy.
Yeah, exactly. A bunch of small victories could, and in this case, will obviously outnumber and outweigh a single large victory in sheer numbers, making sure Extinction picking all their fights right, making sure they can get out a lot of priority targets here. Nothing that could mess up us. Their single or like 2 solid pushes they had here. They managed to push to 14 and just set the scale right then and there here, taking the last game of the set in an 0-3 sweep.
Yep. And that's the end of round 2, I guess. We still have 2 more rounds into Swiss. We're only halfway there, Frostix, before we reach the top cut. So I guess we're gonna take a short break, and we'll be back with round number 3.
And we're back with more Prison Break action here. Phoenix Crash Out versus Wavebreaker on round 3 of Swiss. Pat, what are you expecting to see in round 3?
Well, I'm expecting to see a Wavebreaker. I mean, if I don't see a Wavebreaker on Wavebreaker, I'm going to complain. Every time I cast them, they are not playing a Wavebreaker, and I complain. And I like to keep complaining until they bring one.
That's true. Yeah, I've seen several other teams that like to have their have a specific weapon as their name. I ran into Bucket. I ran into Splat Roller. I ran into Wavebreaker as well here. I think Wavebreaker, like you said, hasn't really ran a lot of Wavebreaker. In comparison to Splat Roller, which definitely had a roller, and Bucket. I don't even remember if Bucket actually ever played Bucket. Actually, I think they do. I think Bucket plays. I think Bucket has a Bucket player.
You have to commit to the bit. You have to keep doing it, or change your team name. I'm fine with that as well. Anyways, we'll be starting with Splat Zones on Robo Roman. Very much a good, well-balanced map where lots of different weapons and strategy can work.
Exactly, I'd say so, especially is considering the verticality as well as the expansiveness that Robo Ramen has. I think that is a range blaster on both teams, but Wavebreaker is running a Texture Julies. We get no breaks from seeing Tetras run and do what Tetras do here.
They brought a Wavebreaker!
They did! They did!
They did! That's the Range Blaster, the vanilla one with a Wavebreaker, and the Phoenix Crash Out is also bringing the same weapon, which means both teams are honoring the advertising. I'm glad from what I've seen. Thank you, Wavebreaker. I'll no longer slander you now. And the Wavebreaker are not only bringing the right weapon, they are holding the zone right now and forcing Phoenix to wait a little bit before pushing, and ooh, they get sniped as well.
Yeah, exactly. Wavebreaker managing to make sure Phoenix Crash Out's Wavebreaker gets no breaks, but a very devious whale lineup by Phoenix Crash Out takes out 2 members of Wavebreaker, but Sader's here with the wipeout. Linksha and Sader managing to take out basically all of Phoenix Crash Out from the front and the back, and now Wavebreaker is pushing onto Phoenix Crash Out's territory. Lynch is gonna go down, but Horch and Rappa are holding down the line here. They have the bubble here, and Phoenix Crash Out actually has the strikes ready to go. Squidoku has them ready to go. That can immediately flip zone in the favor of Phoenix Crash Out. They just need to find the space necessary and not get caught out by anything that Wavebreaker has. Here comes Wavebreaker deployed by Horch. They're gonna take out Void Burn here. And that's 3 members down on Phoenix Crash Out, securing this push and this hold for Wavebreaker as their penalty points are removed and the counter starts ticking down.
Hey, Wavebreaker are not stopping right now. They still have 2 players next to the zone. Can they paint long enough? They only need to delay for 10 more ticks as Phoenix Crash Out are not really able to find control yet. The zone is flipped thanks to the strikes. Phoenix Crash Out keeping themselves alive, but right now Wavebreaker is pushing them away again and getting back control of the zone. Phoenix Crash Out have managed to apply penalty, but they haven't managed to really take really good points.
Yeah, just Wavebreaker's stalwart defense is just not a joke here. There is a lot of good paint control coming in from Rappa with the Splat Jr., a lot of frontline pressure with Linksha on the Tetra Dualies here, and even amidst all these specials flying out from Phoenix Crash Out, like the Wavebreaker from Phoenix, or Squidoku's Tri-Strikes, Wavebreaker stands valiant and managing to help zone in their favor. Linksha's just in their face and has... Phoenix Crash Out has no space or time left to take zone as Wavebreaker, who finally commits to the bit, take game 1 with a knockout.
I mean, that game was all Wavebreaker. Even when they were moving back, even when they were forced away from the zone, they were able to win the fight. They were able to come back even stronger and force Phoenix Crash Out away. That was really all Wavebreaker for that game, and now Phoenix Crash Out, they need to switch things up, because that was an incredible opening of the set by Wavebreaker.
Yeah, I definitely say that here. Oh, perhaps the map mode switch up for Game 2 could be what Phoenix Crash Out needs in order to break what a Wavebreaker has going on here. They have a lot of good weapons that can hold, that can just continue to have such a strong hold. They're running the Sea Leader, they're running the Range Blaster, and they're running the Splat Junior that can obviously just make sure that their hold can just last so long. Maybe if Game 2 is a TC match, I think Wavebreaker may just be able to get away with using this comp as long as what's called Linksha could make the Tetris work here. But as soon as I say that, we're going into Undertow Spillway on Rainmaker here. This is going to be a lot of fights being seen at the first checkpoint, Pat.
Hey, you said it. The fights, the initial fights are so important. The big difficulty of this map is to get momentum, to get away from mid and into the enemy territory. From then on, you really can fight your way forward. Wavebreaker have shown their ability to really take control of mid. Now Phoenix Crash Out needs to shut that down. They need to not let that happen. Now, the kind of composition that Wavebreaker was bringing was really about controlling the middle of the map. In Rainmaker, you can't do just that. You have to push forward. You have to get in, and this is where the Tetras are going to be incredibly important.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Linksha just needs to be familiar with the Undertow Spillway, making sure they can just weave in and out of fights, taking out a lot of the important targets that Wavebreaker has here, especially considering Wavebreaker has a lot more weapons that can be a little bit more mobile. I think I remember seeing that they had, what was it? They had, they were running half gallon and a lot more versatile shooters in that what's it called, in that zones match, and that could definitely still translate over a little smoother, well, not a little smoother, but at least relatively smoothly into a Rainmaker match, as we have no more time to analyze this match further as game 2 begins here.
Game number 2 is going, and we'll see how these teams are able to do. Wavebreaker are bringing the Eliter. They keep the Wavebreaker. I really appreciate that. And Phoenix Crash Out, they're going to have a bit more speed because they have a Pencil versus an Eliter. As long as they can cut the distance, they should be able to do a little bit better in these fights.
That being said, the distance has been cut, not by Phoenix Crash Out, but by Wavebreaker, and specifically Linksha. The Tetras are working wonders for Wavebreaker as Rappa takes first checkpoint here. Sader's charging up Wavebreaker's signature weapon here, and Porsche has the Kraken ready to roll here. I think they have Phoenix specifically in their sights. Sader's going to pick up the Rainmaker specifically. No, Wavebreaker's coming out from Wavebreaker as Sader's going to go down. Linksha and Rappa are left on points here, ambushed by Phoenix. Phoenix goes down, Linksha goes down. It's only Rappa and Horse left as Voidburn shows up to the scene here. It's a 2v1 with Rainmaker almost popped by Wavebreaker, but at least the attention is off of off of the Rainmaker bubble.
What? Yeah, but it's not over. Phoenix Crash Out are going to need to defend that Wavebreaker, that Rainmaker, as Wavebreaker is still maintaining the threat. We're going to see the Rainmaker reset. Right now, Phoenix Crash Out, they need to use their special simply to get out of their spawn and get back to the Rainmaker.
Yeah, it's looking like that's what they did. But the fact of the matter is that Wavebreaker is still in their backline. Phoenix Crash Out is fighting a battle on two fronts. One in the front, one in the back here. Linksha and Horsch are just managing to keep Phoenix Crash Out constantly on their toes on a flank, but they managed to get rid of Linksha. That's definitely something that is very good for Phoenix Crash Out, but that's allowing Rappa as well as Sader to just close in, but Voidburn has a hit with death here. Sader's gonna take them out with the Rainmaker, and now Sader's pushing forward here. Horsch pops the Kraken. They're making it past the first checkpoint. They're gonna move further into their spawn here. Horsch and Linksha are just clearing up Phoenix Crash Out's spawn and take game 2.
Wavebreaker not stopping right now and dominating that game 2 the way they did the first game. It's really like they win the fights, they take the control, they get the momentum, and they've shown that they can hold the map and they can push forward as well.
Yeah, exactly here. Like I said in the pre-match, a lot of the fights will happen at the first checkpoint, and that's pretty much exactly what we saw in this game. Already moving into the first minute, an intense fight erupting just in the first checkpoint here. Wavebreaker trying to push past here, but Phoenix Crash Out at least providing a little bit of defense here. Even still, they succumb to the pressure that Wavebreaker has, being able to divide their forces so evenly here.
Yeah.
We see Horsch and Linksha taking the front here while Rappa and Satyr take the back line.
It's really each player from Wavebreaker being incredibly confident in their ability to fight, whether with a junior, with an elite, with the Rainmaker itself. Wavebreaker really full confidence, taking every fight with the upper hand and doing what they need to do and not stopping at any second. They're now up 2-0. They won that set. Now Phoenix Crash Out. They get one last shot, and they're going to have to coordinate even more because it's Clam Blitz.
Oh, not only Clam Blitz, Pat, it's Clam Blitz on Museum. I think, like Barnacle and Dime Clams, this is a map where you have to win 2 fights in order to at least secure the basket. You, of course, need to fight around mid, and you need to work around the spinner, then need to work around a second spinner in their spawn here. Call it Spinner City.
One big thing is if you have the advantage, if you have control of the mid, you can really not push and maintain that pressure onto the platform because the other team is forced to defend, is forced to stay there and wait for you to make a mistake. As long as you... And so both teams need to really wait for the other team to make a mistake before a push can really happen onto the platform.
Exactly here. They need to make sure they play and pick their fights right here. That's something that Wavebreaker has been doing pretty well here. Can Phoenix Crash Out get one more shot? Is that a GooTuber?
That's a GooTuber.
Is that the
That's
GooTuber?
a GooTuber. The GooTuber has missiles, which means that's going to keep the Elite busy. I expect the missiles to always come onto the Elite, but that's the strat. Right now, Wavebreaker are opening with a Splat already, and they're already grabbing a lot of clams, and they're pushing in.
Yeah, they're already being assisted by Rappa's bubble here. They're just taking out key players, making sure the shot can get no Zuka, making sure that the S-Blast has no Booyah Bomb to stop their push. And now Rappa holds Wavebreaker's first power clam, and Linksha is already also on the front line, ready to wreak havoc. Wavebreaker deploys their signature weapon here, already on the spinner. They're already gonna take out... Oh, they're already gonna take out Phoenix. Phoenix just can't catch a break. So can't Void Burn here. And with Linksha and Horsch just holding down the front line, Rappa will get the first score of the match.
I mean, that's what we expect from Wavebreaker now. They have a bubbler under the basket. And they're gonna get already to 50 points, which is a pretty nice opening push for them. Phoenix Crash Out, not completely out yet, but they need to secure their basket, whose basket is still open.
Yeah, we see Popeyes here, the holder of the GooTuber. They have a Horsch, they have Rappa in their sights here, but they're gonna be chased down by Linksha here. They need to work around the Uninkable, and Linksha's gone down here. Phoenix Crash Out has the pity clam of their own, but Wavebreaker has already built another clam while that was happening. The economy is definitely in their favor here. Phoenix Crash Out needs to make sure the control is in their favor, make sure that Wavebreaker gets no space that can just allow them to dance around fights. Speaking of dancing around fights, Linksha is just doing all that and more!
It's non-stop fight for Wavebreaker, activating their specials, getting in, reopening the basket, and there's already no more penalty. We could see a KO right here, right now, just 26 points left. That's just one super clam now that's missing for the Wavebreaker, and they have enough clams. They have enough clams for sticks. They're getting in, and they're ending this game.
Within a single... Oh, not a single. Within a mere 2 pushes, Wavebreaker will take a 3-0 sweep against Phoenix Crash Out. That was just insane. Just a victory lap for Wavebreaker.
Oh yeah. I mean, beautiful plays by them, both individually and as a team. they were getting into these fights, doing great mechanical moves, and constantly the rest of the team was ready to play off of that. The rest of the team was moving with their player, and each player had their time to shine. Each player really completing each other incredibly well.
Yeah, I'd definitely say so. Everyone is just looking out for each other's flaws, especially I'd say whenever Linksha or Rappa is just within a tricky situation, you have Horsch that can just pop the Kraken. That can obviously be a good damage sponge just to just chop up already dangerous territory to make it more safer for the front lines of Wavebreaker to just make sure they have the means necessary to score more clams. Specifically when Basket is that close to the enemy spawn pad.
Yeah, I mean, it's really Wavebreaker taking control, Wavebreaker showing, dancing around, doing whatever they want, even under that basket, as you said, under the spawn. They were in control. They were forcing Phoenix Crash out to second guess themselves all the time.
Yeah, there is no guessing where Linksha could potentially be. And if you spend too long guessing, well, guess what? You have a laser in your face, courtesy of the holder of the Wavebreaker by Wavebreaker. Such a stellar set from them. A 3-0 sweep here. A lot of the round 3 games are still occurring here, so we will of course have to take a bit of a break. Round 4 of groups is imminent, so of course stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Prism Break 25. I am Pat again with Frostix, and we are now in round 4 of the Swiss, the final round, which will decide which team are going to get to the top bracket. And we're going to present you Kush and Corinthians going against Bucket. You talked about Bucket earlier, I believe.
Yeah, Bucket is definitely a familiar face here on Prism Break streams here. Of course, consisted of Rosa, Jay, Your Love, and Rexy. We're going into game 1 of this best of 3 match. Mako Zones here. Mako Mart Jump Scare, I say. The name of the game in this match is the stacks here, of course. Trying to at least control your, at least maintain that you have the high ground. Be like Obi-Wan and do not be like Anakin.
And you know what's very good against the stack? A bucket. Or a carbon roller, or a blaster. But I mean, that's still... Wait, is it Kush and Corinthians that are running the buckets on this?
Yeah, that's the Dreadringer that we're seeing from Kush and Corinthians here. Like I said earlier, like Bucket's not running their bucket this time around. That's interesting. Jay is already gonna pop the Zuka. They're gonna take out Osa. Here's the Dreadringer. They are halfway to the Reef Slider. The Reef Slider, as we saw from Comet a couple sets ago, can be very devastating in zones, and Your Love is gonna go down here. Kush and Corinthians maintaining a very strong hold onto this zone within the first minute of the match.
Yeah, and that's a great opening, but still going for Kush and Corinthians in yellow right there. They are not stopping, and that bucket is trying to get even more of its non-stop action. Oh!
Yeah, exactly. Oh! Fell off. Whoopsie.
Oh, no.
Bucket needs to act fast here, lest they lose game 1 to a KO. Jay has popped the Zuka here, but they're already going to be cut off by strikes from Kush and Corinthians here. And it's looking like Bucket is on the scene here. They managed to into Kush and Corinthians push Osa, and the Dreadringer are just flushing the rest of Bucket out here. And with a celebratory Reef Slider, Kush and Corinthians will take game 1.
I mean, Bucket got to the zone. That's all they did. They managed to reach the zone once and paint it, but they didn't manage to apply penalty even. Really complete control by the Corinthians.
Yeah, exactly here. They have a lot of good weapons that could make good use of the stacks here. They're running 2 buckets here, not just the V bucket, but also the Dreadringer. They also have the, what seems to be mandatory pencil to at least have their soda play here. But they also have a lot of good frontline aggression here with that carbon roller as well.
Yeah, I mean, Kush and Corinthians, they had the dynamic. They were constantly moving forward, getting into the fights and punishing Bucket in their own spawn. Now, if Bucket managed to really punish Kush and Corinthians as they are trying to get in, they could change the dynamic of that game. But right now, they really need to find a way to punish Kush and Corinthians, who otherwise are going to keep running forward and getting more.
Yeah, if you're Bucket, you do not want to lose to a team running 2 buckets. You don't want to be out-bucketed here. As we're going into game 2, Ship-Shape Cargo. This is definitely a map that Kush and Corinthians could have a lot of fun on as well here. There's a lot of verticality that Ship-Shape has, and of course Ship-Shape is a lockout, is a map known to be lockout-centric here. Yeah. Can Bucket at least up the ante and not succumb to any more pressure that we saw from Kush and Corinthians?
Yeah, it's also a map that is very, very slow until you're past that first checkpoint. Getting between the 2 first checkpoints, like the tower takes ages to move, and the checkpoints are long as well. But once you're past that checkpoint, you can cruise through that court, and you can get so many points so fast. And it's really on which team is able to break the checkpoint and move forward. Right now, Kush and Corinthians, they've shown they got it. We haven't seen Bucket really with momentum on the attacking side. If they manage to get control of the tower, they get special advantage. We could see a different Bucket right there. Can they do it?
Yeah, and we have no more time for analysis. We're going into game 2 here. Can Bucket tie this set here, not going to see. Osa is using the ink brush. I think that's a Tetra as well coming from Cushion Corinthians. Meanwhile, Bucket responds with 2 blasters.
Bucket, more blasters. Hey, blasters are a very, very good option for tower control. And right there, Bucket are giving themselves a lot of range that could punish Christian Corinthians the way they like to fight. But right now, there's 2 down onto Bucket, and the Corinthians are moving in. The Tetra's not able to fund the splat onto the pencil, but that's still a lot of ground in favor of Christian Corinthians.
That is the Splash-O-Matic of the Cushion Corinthians riding the tower with Crab. That's a very easy way to at least secure a checkpoint here. That's Rosa.
Ooh.
That's going to be contesting tower with the pencil. That's of course something that could be very good. Jay's gonna pop the strikes as well, but Jay's gonna go down to the pencil of Cushion Corinthians. Now the Tetris has the Reef Slider as well that can contest a lot of space here as they are under fire by Rexy. The blasters can definitely chop up territory, but here is the Splash-O-Matic as well here. They have another Crab ready to go here. It's like the Crab was used just a couple seconds ago and they've already brought it back out here. Rose is taking damage. The rest of Bucket is under fire. Yorlov is in sight as well as Rexy here, but they are just up against Bucket's doorstep and they aren't leaving anytime soon.
It's non-stop aggression. The Corinthians are still on the attack right now. Rexy is splatted with the blaster, and that's Cushion Corinthians moving forward again on the brush. Okay, the brush is going to get splatted in that. Oh wait! Oh, what a Rift Slider by the Tetras! That is spelling trouble. The Crab Tank is going to follow through as well. Cushion Corinthians are getting to the second and final checkpoint.
That play by the Tetras can show how destructive Tetra can be here. That's just more pressure being applied to Bucket here, even within their spawn here. It's looking like Bucket is slowly starting to clean up the rest of Cushion Corinthians, but Yorlov is under fire by the Splash-O-Matic. Cushion Corinthians just still is here to stay here. The killer whales are coming out here. The Splash is already at a Crab Tank and they're firing off at the rest of Bucket.
It's non-stop. Cushion Corinthians getting more points. We're now at 4 points from a KO. And the Corinthians are still very much in a position to attack, to get more. Now they're out of specials, which means Bucket should be able to at least defend their side. But both team needs to be patient. Can't get out yet. Cushion Corinthians still in control of mid and getting forward.
Yeah, even when the push seemed to be at an end, that's actually 2 down on Cushion Corinthians. It's just the pencil. I think they're calling in the brush here, but it's only 2 down while Bucket has 4 people in mid. Rexy has the triple splashdown ready to go. That can definitely clear up a lot of space, but the Tetra is already on the scene. That's diverting a lot of attention off of Cushion Corinthians as the Crab Tank comes out once more here. This splash will constantly been applying a lot of pressure with Crabs as well as Osa. Osa has the brush at being able to just divert a lot of attention accompanied by the Tetras here. Such a stellar frontline push.
I mean, Cushion Corinthians are getting the points right now and maintaining the attack, but they just lost the 2 players. They're going to have to move back. Bucket defending strong, able to keep themselves alive. But they haven't managed to even reach the first checkpoint yet. Frostix!
I think slowly Bucket is starting to clear out the rest of Cushion Corinthians, but they're still here. They're still just at the second checkpoint here.
Back.
It's
and
just
the brush
a constant stagger.
Look at the brush!
The brush is just moving in and out of fights here! What is going on? You're right, Pat! Such an insane showcase by Cushion Corinthians here. Bucket has a minute left on the clock to make this push work. They need to make this push work fast because Cushion Corinthians has 4 points on their point.
Oh, but 3 players down. If Bucket manages to splat the pencil here, that would be huge. The brush is already behind them, but they're ignoring it. They're pushing that tower. They know that it's their one shot at an overtime win, but here comes the splat. They lost 2 players right there, and they didn't break the checkpoint. Frostic, they didn't break the checkpoint.
They're just sitting at 75 to Cushion Corinthians 4 here. It's like they just can't even break out of mid here. Cushion Corinthians is providing such a stellar defense. The Tetra is once again dancing around. They're gonna get splatted by the Range Blaster here. They need to make this push work into overtime. Bucket has 2 specials, 3 specials. 2 people are down on Cushion Corinthians. They are breaking past checkpoint 1 here. The specials are coming out. Jace throwing the strikes in. That's gonna chop up some more territory for Bucket. Rexy has the splashdowns ready to go. They let it direct onto the Bucket. Can they actually make this win? That's 2 down. The Reef Slide is coming in from the Tetris, but they get a wipeout. Bat! I think they can actually make this work into overtime. They have no specials left, but they're making more picks and they lose the lead. Bucket! Bucket taking game 2.
This is where the blasters shine, when you're in tower control and you need to push. Blasters going in, working these ledges, forcing splat after splat after splat, and that's an incredible comeback by Bucket, who are in there, who looked dead, but who are still alive, and we are now 1-1 between these 2 teams. We will decide things in the final game.
I think this is the first time this week, at least this stream, that we've seen a set go 1-1. Every single other match we've casted so far, Pat, have been decided within the first 2 games, but Bucket is here to stay and is here to finish this off in game 3.
Hey, within 5 minutes of that game, it looked decided, but Bucket held down. They knew that they could still get in. And really, they got all the splats that they wanted to get. And that's the thing with Cushion Corinthians. Between the Brush and the Tetras, they have the moves. They have the means to run forward, to get in. But they don't have the means to defend that well. Once Bucket were getting their momentum, Cushion Corinthians were kind of desperate in that final push, and Bucket playing off of that now. We're going to Rainmaker on Humpback. It's going to get even faster.
Yeah, we've seen the frontline aggression from Cushion Corinthians. We've seen the firepower from Bucket. I think this map mode is the ideal combination for both these ideals, the unstoppable force, the unmovable object, to collide.
I feel like in Rainmaker, in particular, double blaster looks like very risky, especially since the Brush and the Tetra can dodge these blaster shots. So if Bucket finds a way to really move faster, paint faster, they can compete with Cushion Corinthians. They've shown that if they find the momentum, if they put themselves in the positions they want to be, they can take it. But right now we are 1-1, and that final Rainmaker will decide it all.
Yeah, exactly. It just depends on whether or not Bucket can respond to the unpredictableness that Cushion Corinthians has. I think we've seen that they were able to switch up their comp in game 2. Maybe we're gonna get a third comp switch up, and maybe that'll shake up Bucket's former confidence moving into game 3. What are we seeing? That is something completely different again. Or not completely different, but at least a little different. Sploosh coming in from Bucket. It's not just Cushion Corinthians doing a switch up. The Tetra's going from Tetra to Wiper, but now we're seeing a Sploosh-o-matic from Bucket as well.
Hey, both teams are bringing Hammer to this fight, and honestly, Hammer is very good on this map. Because of the hill, Hammer can really do the work. Right now we see trade after trade. Both teams with 2 players down, trying to get control. It looks like Bucket has the numbers right now. Can they grab the Rainmaker? Can they get to the checkpoint right away? It looks like right now, Bucket are cruising with the momentum. They get a wipeout, a repop, and that's going to be an easy checkpoint for Bucket, who are opening incredibly strong.
Exactly here. The Sploosh is just making clean work of the battlefield here. Applying the pressure that Cushion Corinthians originally applied to them. They need to back off here, if anything here. That is a very narrow choke to run in if you're Bucket, and it's looking like Cushion Corinthians is managing to work off that, but actually, that's 2 down on Cushion Corinthians. They lose the Rainmaker, and fast as they get it. Yorlov is running circles around Cushion Corinthians with that Sploosh-o-matic.
That is quite the move. I mean, but Rainmaker being thrown down means that's a bit of a reset, and Cushion Corinthians are finally able to get some space, to get control of the Rainmaker. Vazuka is going to push people a little bit. Now it's on Bucket to defend. And I mean, both of these teams like to attack. We'll see how they're able to do in defense. Right now, that splat onto the Rainmaker will slow things down for the Corinthians.
Even still, Cushion Corinthians appears to be, at least was prioritizing the pressure onto the choke point here. They've managed to peel back for the Rainmaker just in time, but the Slaughter Shot does have the Zuka ready to go. Bucket has the Rainmaker, and the Carbon is sitting in the backline. I think they have the Pens on their side.
What?
Yorlov is running with the Rainmaker!
Again?
Similar vein to Nathan!
What is... Bucket!
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 Chat, we have seen 2 Rainmaker steals in this stream! Bucket with a Rainmaker steal in Game 3, taking this set in a reverse sweep against Cushion Corinthians!
Bucket, who looked... 4 minutes and a half into game number 2, Bucket looked done. They looked cooked. They had nothing against Cushion Corinthians. They were not able to win any fight. They were not able to get any push. And not only did they get the comeback of the century in game 2, they destroyed this game 3 with a huge first push and then an absolute steal on the Rainmaker. I'm pretty sure that's going to count. That could get them into Diamond Bracket. Right now they are into Diamond Bracket.
Oh, that paid off. If anything, never underestimate the build that a Sploosh player can do. Look at it. They just... Oh, no, the clip cut it short here. Oh, wait, are we going to see it one more time? I don't think we're going to see it in time. But they just managed to snatch the Rainmaker within the final couple seconds of that game, managing to slam it in a knockout, going completely unscathed. This is to think this happened twice. If I had a nickel every time this happened, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot. Tonight. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible by Bucket. And Cushion Corinthians, they were so good. They were incredibly good. I mean, both of these teams were good, but Bucket really throwing off the script, changing the story, and making their own win. Congratulations to them. They get to Diamond Bracket. And Frostix, we had a blast watching this.
Oh, we definitely did have a blast casting a group stage, our first group stage in a while. But as we move into Top Cut and in Bracket as a whole, we're gonna have to see a comm switch up into the Block 2 dynamic duo of Rocket and Topic. You have heard from me and Pat here at Under Pressure here. Pat, where can the good people of Twitch find you on social media?
Well, you can find me at On Blue Sky at Tom. It's written on your screen right now. And Frostix, where can I find you?
Well, you can also find me at Blue Sky at frost6.bluesky.social here. I'm also on the site formerly known as Twitter, TK_Frostix, at Discord, at Just Frostix, and I'm writing a web novel, read Gap Year on Wattpad. That's aside from the point here. You're hearing, like I said earlier, you're hearing from Rocket and Topic next here on Under Pressure, so stay tuned for Top Cut to see who makes it into Diamond Bracket.
We are not muted. We are here. Welcome back. You know our typical commentators on the second half, Rocket and Topic. I am Rocket here, and we're looking at Honkai versus Auntie now. We're looking at Diamond Bracket, our top cut here, and taking a look at the weapons that stick out for you, Topic, between both these teams. Anything stick out to you?
Actually, both of them running heavy edit. Very interesting because, you know, this is Crab Lake Capital. Usually, this is the pencil map, the long range map. So both teams decided to go with the heavy edit, maybe for a more aggressive, more mobile type of comp. We're going to see right away Auntie with a very, at least, quick lead.
Yeah, indeed. Both sides losing 2 players, though, and now actually Auntie maybe getting a little bit of an advantage in terms of numbers. However, the advantage for points is in Honkai's favor. You see the trip strikes going out, though. The dualies will fall from the side of Honkai, now losing their splash, as now you see Parks on these grates here in mid, just asserting their dominance with that edit well in place, just forcing players back on the side of Honkai, and with that, they will get the lead. You see JJ with that stand, maybe trying to get a cheeky little snipe. Won't quite find their target, but pressure is made as now most of the map is in green.
I mean, yeah, like you said, JJ's very, very aggressive swish in return with some back. Able to get one, though. Tora, though, on that top right side, able to get one. Another one's going to go down as well. It's this swish there by themselves, trying to at least get something. Just stuck in the corner, getting caught off by the crab. They're going to go down. Honkai able to recapture the zone and maybe push a little bit further here with another 2 members going down. That'll be 3. That's going to be a wipeout. So Honkai, at the flip of a switch, able to turn a situation that can be really, really bad for them to a really good one. As you can see, they are pushing up at least a little bit here because they do have Cool at the ready. They're eating through their points right now. They have Nilla on the crab, so this would be very dangerous for Auntie.
Indeed, indeed. You see the points going fast, though, for Honkai, threatening this lead that Auntie has built up here. You see Cakes on this crab. Crab is running out, yes, but now the time is to go. The time is to go in now. Auntie will take control of the zone, preventing the lead switch here, but Honkai are still pretty well in place and will actually take a 2-1. Now 3 players down for the side of Auntie, and now their players are falling left, right, and center. Now Wumi on these dualies here. Almost a crab, never mind, shut down by a well-placed bomb. That crab, if it was able to be launched, it would have been deadly for Honkai.
I mean, yeah, just look at the position where it could have been. Unfortunately, Tora's going to go down, so that'd be a really quick changeover. Maybe to Auntie, but not quite Honkai able to hold on. But yeah, that crab would have been very, very impactful, but they don't even need it, as Honkai is just going to do what they do best. And actually, hold on, Honkai is running double crab with the splash and the dually, so very, very aggressive, very space holding type of comp. There's another one going down. JJ has to kind of rush towards the zone. Looks like Prax there in the back's not going to be able to help, so Honkai, very unconventional, I would say, with the double crab, but hey, if it works, it works. So I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It just works.
Double crab is really oppressive to try to push into, especially if you're in the situation that Auntie was in just there. I mean, you saw both crabs are both on the grates, one in the mid grate and one near the right side. And what were they both overlooking? They were both overlooking Auntie's spawn, basically, where they're trying to drop in and trying to push into it. I mean, crab-like capital zones is similar in that way to, I would say, another lockout heavy mode mahi zones, in that you're forcing to drop yourself down into the enemy jaws. And I mean, if you have 2 crabs kind of just staring at you, I mean, that's a lot of firepower to really push into without any specials. And given the right situation there, which Honkai was in, it really didn't give Auntie that many options to go in, which allowed them to really cruise to that one after a very back and forth first 2 minutes.
I mean, yeah, Honkai, they're just doing the title, basically. Hey, crab leg, we got crab legs on crab. We're doing our thing, but it looks like we're gonna stop looking at game number 1 to go to game number 2. A lot more open of a map mode, which is gonna be Clan Blitz Museum, the Alfonsino. But even if it's a lot more open, Crab can still be very, very deadly, as we're gonna see Honkai with the exact same comp. But okay, JJ switching over to the Brella that they play a lot, so maybe that'll help a little bit, especially with the Inkjet, because I believe Inkjet can 2-shot Crab, if I remember correctly, so that could be very, very helpful for Auntie.
Yeah, but the Brilla is a very interesting choice. Will unfortunately go down there, but you do have Auntie actually continuously losing players. Honkai have been able to settle themselves well, and actually Cakes being the last player standing there with that zap will go down, and with that delayed wipe, Honkai will confidently settle themselves in mid here, and to the victor go the spoils. The spoils being all these clams, all this space to work with. However, JJ on that left side will find one with the Brella here, so maybe slowing down Honkai's advance a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like that might work back out, but Woomy with a very aggressive crab on the plat of Auntie, able to find one, looking for another, not quite able to get it, but at least take a lot of pressure off of the rest of the team. Is gonna at least leave the plat for Auntie completely covered in Honkai's color, but we're gonna see Prax, but instead a crab of themselves at least take this space. They're able to do a little bit, but Honkai doing a really good job of responding to whatever Auntie throws at them. And so far, yes, they are forced to back up, but now Auntie, they only have an injure at the ready, so there's not a lot of specials to really push in with.
Indeed. Here the crabs from Nilla going out. It does provide at least some space for Honkai, and now gives them potentially an opening to go in. 2 players down from the side of Auntie here. Nilla is just trying to hunger for some more kills. However, they have to be careful, Honkai that is, because they are fastly losing players. A trade will be had as Nilla will take out Kate's. That pesky Zap just chilling there. Now you see Woomy going in with the dualies, trying to find Swiss. At least gets the trade there, but you see Kabi going in with this gal, will get traded and punish themselves. So although Honkai have been able to put themselves in advantageous situations, these trades coming out from Auntie have at least stalled out these advantages.
I mean, yeah, even though Auntie haven't really been able to push for themselves, the fact that they've been getting trades is really helping, and that actually be working out for them in their favor. As you can see, we're gonna see Swish on the Prax in the back, looking to give at least some support. Distraction come out to at least paint the plat of Honkai purple, but we're gonna see another crab coming out from Nilla to at least dissuade the members of Auntie from pushing forward. It's gonna work out at least for the moment, as 1, 2, 3 members, possibly 4. There's the Grand Slam, able to get all 4 members of Auntie down. So Honkai, really solid defense, not giving up a lot of space on their plat, as they're able to really quickly reestablish themselves, as we're back to about a neutral situation with about 2 minutes left in the game, and still no one has scored. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, do you see the arsenal that Honkai is building up right now? They had 17 clams at one point, however, Swish will find one. Now 3 players from Honkai fall as Auntie recovers so effectively, but that is a delayed wipeout there, and the ball is potentially out of reach for Honkai here. Unless they can retake that ball here, they need to pick it up soon. Kabi will at least save it for the time being, but despite being on the back foot several times, and yet again being on the back foot here, Auntie has been able to find a way to recover with evening trades. However, this might be their biggest test yet, as now we see Nilla with the crab in such a great position. There's the second crab coming out here, and we could potentially see a score here, but JJ is making sure that doesn't happen soon. But finally, a ball will find its way in.
Yeah, ball will find its way in, but maybe not a whole lot of follow-up, as only Kabi is going to be there. They're going to go down, so the basket will open up, or will close back up for Honkai. So Auntie has another clam at the ready, giving them 2 power clams and a lot of reserve to work with. As you can see, throwing everything in the kitchen sink at the plat of Honkai, not able to fight any picks yet, but instead, Kabi with the flank, able to get 1, 2, 3. JJ, the last member remaining, just forced to inkjet to keep themselves alive for now. Able to hold on. Wait a second, they got a double kill. There might be more in the tank, though shield's not gonna be enough, so they're gonna go down. So Auntie's push that looks so promising gets shut down before it has a chance to start. So now we have 45 seconds remaining. Now Auntie, they're still in a really good spot. They have, okay, well, they had 7 clams plus the pity, but they still, if they can get that ball, probably not, they still have the pity in reserve. So if they can just break through the defense of Honkai, which is much easier said than done, they'll be able to score. But so far, Honkai, they're holding very firm.
Holding firm indeed, however, Honkai does lose a lot of their players in that scrum. 15 seconds left, still plenty of time to really work with here, but this has been a very deadlock, just iron wall versus iron wall fight here, and nothing has really given, not much has, but Honkai has at least found a little bit of a score to be in the lead now. Overtime looms here. Auntie need to make their move soon here, because Honkai have at least been able to control mid really effectively. Woomy will take a 1-for-1 trade here, but you see a jump coming in from Perix here. Really well plays that will break the barrier. You just need 1 clam, and just like that, oh my goodness, I didn't catch it right there, but it looks like a player of Auntie was able to sneak their way under that basket, giving the jump, and then a follow-up jump came in, getting 1 clam, and managing to steal that game away from Honkai there. That's why you always got to keep your eye on the basket. In clam was just a little sneak by, just ended that game, and now we are looking at game 3 awaiting us.
I mean, We love Clan Blitz. We love Clan Blitz. We love Rainmaker because that just happened for 4 minutes or for 5 minutes actually. Like as we're gonna see our streamer complain about spec cam, which honestly I agree. But but yeah, for about 5 minutes of the game, Honkai was looking strong, and then it's just a little bit of ink they forgot to cover up. Aunties found their way in. They went through. They got the power, and were lucky enough to get at least another clanman. So that at least gives them a bit of momentum. You know what I mean? Like, yes, for the most part, they were pretty much how do you say? They were pretty much stifled every chance they tried to push. So maybe this would like help them out because it felt like for a majority of the game, Honkai could just do whatever they wanted, right? Even though they couldn't score, it felt like they got the picks. They just kept going and going. They got into mid. They got onto plat. It felt like for a majority of this game, plat was painted or Auntie's plat was painted Honkai's color. So now maybe after the nerves are gone. Maybe not, but maybe we're gonna see Auntie at least put up a bit more of a fight during regulation as we go to game number 3 and basically a best of 1 at this point. Ink Blot Art Academy tower control.
Yeah, you really gotta. I mean, you kind of like a lot of what you did if you're on the side of Honkai. I mean, you were able to set yourself up well, set yourself up in great positions. Just not able to capitalize as much there, but it's a little bit unfortunate at the end. Onto just found a way to steal that one here. They can't windmill on it too long, though. Game 3 awaits us. Still sticking with that double crab there, which is really interesting to see. On the other side, JJ will sit and stay with that Brella. You see the bucket from Swish for those GG strikes could play a really key factor in trying to deal with this double crab. Let's see if it really works out for them, though.
Yeah, and Auntie actually making the switch over to the splatter shot from Cake, so maybe a bit more to help with the crabs. And so far, what looks like a really good fight for Auntie, just at the flip of a switch over to Honkai, getting a full wipeout, able to very easily get through that first checkpoint like a hot knife through butter. Now they're making their way towards the second checkpoint, which is usually the choke point of the entire game. JJ, they're gonna go down as well. Another crab on the bats of Auntie is going to be popped. Swish to looking straight for the tower, able to at least neutralize it for just a second. They're going to get a lot of attention on the tower, but they're going to go down as well. So Honkai looking very, very strong. JJ's going to drop onto Betrick, try to clear it out. They're going to go down as well. And Honkai just lime green, all you can see. Tarno's able to break through like it's absolutely nothing. And now Honkai looks like they're going to be forced to back away for now. But that's damn near game winning right there.
Indeed. You see the trip strikes now going out from the side of Auntie. Just try to recover some of this land, but you have to worry about these lurking players of Honkai there going up to the plat. 2 players did fall from Auntie here, so a little bit of rejuvenation on Honkai's push. However, just as I say that, they do lose their 2 players that do have that crab here, so maybe losing a little bit of the potential pressure. But, I mean, the trades are going out for the side of Auntie. Just remaining is Cakes for them to just try to recover. A good pick there, though, with that bomb.
I mean, yeah, that's a good pick, but Auntie needs to stop going down. That's a good start. Cake's getting Woomy with the Zuka. We're going to see Nilla, but at least try to be a little bit of a snake. Not quite able to do it just well. GJ's going to scout them out and just look for a couple of picks. Not quite able to find anything here, but Honkai, just this constant pressure on the tower is making Auntie kind of be a little jumpy, if I could best way I could put it. They're making them jump. They're making them be a bit, not a bit overreactive, I should say. They're making them use their specials a bit too early. Just be like, put themselves in the bad situation, and it's working out really, really well for them. As you can see, I think ever since Auntie stepped on the tower for like 2 seconds at the very beginning, right? This entire map has been painted lime green. This entire map, actually most of Bats and Plat have been painted Honkai's color, with another crab just to kind of stake their claim, I guess.
Ooh. Yeah, managing to find marks on that as well, but Swish tries to recover with the trip strikes, taking this one-on-one with the Gal. Will be forced back a little bit here as the tower is continuously moving. You see the Zuka being popped, managing to find one there, so a little bit of a great recovery from Cakes, is trying to get this, but Honkai has been able to constantly apply the pressure. They don't look like they're gonna plan on stopping. You saw Woomy try to take the fight to them, but eventually Honkai is eventually forced back here, and I mean, I feel like that push lasted forever, Topic.
I mean, it lasted what from like it's might not even be done yet. As Auntie's gonna go 2 members down. So hey, that push, at least for right now, is still going Parks though with the cooler. This might be the end of it. Lumi with the crab to at least try to cause some pressure. They're gonna get shredded almost instantly. JJ's gonna go in as well. They're gonna go down the bottom of your screen. So it looks like we're finally getting back to neutral here. And yeah, Rocket, like you said, that push lasted from about I want to say like 4:30 to like 1:30. There's like a 3-minute push.
And
So-
that constant pressure Honkai was able to put on was really impressive here, but let's see if Auntie can respond. They need to do so in crunch time, but they lose 3 of their players. It's just left to JJ on that Brella, and they are wiped out. That is a delayed wipe for Honkai now, who just see green grass ahead of them. You see Wumi on this really disgusting crab angle, finds one, and is continuously providing this artillery fire, and then switching out is Nilla. It seems like a tag team of crabs just seems to be what Honkai loves to run here. A quick trade will technically go in favor of Honkai. It keeps their push alive here. You see the flank attempt from the Gao, not quite finding too much here, but things are looking dire for Auntie as 30 seconds loom and you haven't touched the first checkpoint yet. This needs to go now. You need to get in a push.
Yeah, but it's much easier said than done. JJ's gonna go down once again, so it's just Honkai putting all this pressure, extreme pressure onto Auntie. That's a delayed wipe right there. As I enter the final 10 seconds of the game, JJ just needs to at least stake their claim into mid, try to do a little bit of something here. Not quite are able to get some attention by Wumi away from them, not able to get the kill in 3, 2, 1. That will do it, and Honkai, with a very, very dominant game number 3, will take the set where Auntie scored 3 points in the first like 10 seconds and never touched tower again. It was all defense all the way.
Indeed, it was really just a relentless relentless pressure that Honkai has been able to build. And I mean, if this is the same Honkai I keep seeing, I mean, that's just been their bread and butter. That's just really how they like to operate, really just applying pressure, and really how a lot of teams love to play, just giving your opponents no room to really counterattack. Now, you see typically in Splatoon matches that are close, you really just see like a kind of back and forth, a kind of tug of war. Let's see who gets the better push, at least finding a better opportunity here. But Honkai, they just said, nah, I'm just gonna cut the rope. You're just not giving Auntie any opportunity to try to pull back there. But yeah, really well done from them. They move on.
I'd win. That's
Nah,
what they do. Like, I'd win. Yeah,
indeed.
it's just
They move on.
yeah, it was just really good. Like, nothing more I can really say. Honkai, after a very, close game 1 to game 2, which came down to overtime that they lost, it's like, you know what? All bets are off. We're taking off the training weights. Naruto, Rocket? Like when Rock Lee takes off his weights, like the training weights? And like,
Yes.
yeah, that's what happened. That's exactly what happened, and hey, it just worked out really well for them, I guess.
Indeed it did. GG's to them. They get the pleasure of moving on to the next round, like I said, and their opponents are not ready yet. Bucket and Guh, yeah, that is the team name, Guh, are at a 1-1 here in their game 3, and taking a look at the top half of this, Wavebreaker, and I'm not even going to attempt that and pronounce that name, Curious. Help me out on your topic. I'm having a strong reading that. Look, whatever team is facing Wavebreaker right now.
Hold on. Locuritas. I thought it was Spanish or Roman. It's one of the two. I want to say it's Spanish.
Yeah, that team.
Yeah, that team.
Okay. Yeah, that team. 6 seed. Face off in a 1-1. There are in best game 3 there. And whoever wins that will move on to semis to face One Shot Leader, who is already secured their spot in semis. And we'll be taking a look at that match next. But like we said, we're just have to wait a little bit for that game to conclude. We'll be right back, taking this quick break, but don't leave anywhere.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed your little break because we are back with some more Prism Break action coming up right to you. We have our semi-finals of this Prism Break burger as we have One Shot Leader versus Wave Breaker. I am Topic, joined once again by Rocket. And fun fact for you, Rocket, Wave Breaker is our highest seed remaining at the number 9 seed, so maybe he can do some damage to One Shot Leader, but we're gonna see as we hop straight into game number 1.
Highest seed remaining, yes. I mean, in terms of like, I mean numbers, yes. I'm not sure that's how seeding works, but I mean, yeah, actually our lowest seeded remaining here because Honkai is our number 2 seed. But Wavebreaker is gonna be trying to go on that Cinderella run here, but unfortunately, they will lose 2 of their players early here. As who do we have? We have Enraged Jeff, the sploosh one trick, and we're seeing them already making their presence known with that hammer to boot.
I mean, yeah, listen, Jeff plays Sploosh. What else you want me to say? They just do what they do, but Wavebreaker are not going to break that easy as they're able to at least get the zone back in their favor. At least get a couple more points down to 93 points remaining as a one-shot leader is able to recapture very, very quickly. And I think the biggest matchup for both teams here is going to be that E-Leader duel because both of them do have the custom E-Leader 4K scope, so they can both, like, shoot at basically wherever they want from each other. So it's very important that, see right there, it's very important that they keep these frontliners at bay. They gotta make sure that they have, or give their, oh, okay, you're just testing it, as Pneumonia's gonna go down there. But yeah, it's important for both these chargers to get themselves established, basically. It's important for them to make sure that their frontliners feel comfortable pushing up, knowing that they have support behind them.
Indeed, but if you're on the side of one-shot leader, you can really play a little bit more aggressive angles here because you are forcing Wavebreaker to push into you. So you have the advantage of just having the luxury of just sitting and waiting there. The cooler does go down, though, from the side of one-shot leader. Interestingly, the prize slosher, but still not losing that much ground in the swing of things here. The bubble was placed, yes, to maybe try to get a little bit of a foothold, but those squid beacons have been providing and working overtime pretty much for one-shot leader to quickly recover, and Wavebreaker need to get a push going in soon because now this actually looks like an opportunity for them to do so. However, they do lose their custom blaster early.
I mean, yeah, but also Enraged Jeff goes down, so that's a really great way for Wavebreaker to get in there. You can see the Kraken is going to come out able to at least get one pick on the side of Wavebreaker, but one-shot leader, they're doing a really good job of at least keeping the members of Wavebreaker kind of distracted. They do have the sploosh, they do have the blaster, they do have the triceps. They have these weapons that are forcing members of one-shot leader to look at them, but so far one-shot leader just does not care. As we're gonna see, Enraged Jeff just do sploosh things. Like, they're in the back line, they have a hammer, able to, actually, no, they're not able to get the kill. Very unfortunate, Rappa, able to get one, but unfortunately, Charger's gonna Charger.
Is going to charge her indeed, but eventually being pushed up by that custom blaster and managing to find 2 off of the back of that. Really well done there from, I believe that is Harsh there, and just continuously applying pressure now on this right stack. It provides a great opportunity for Wavebreaker to get back into things here. You see a Reslider not quite finding some value on that side as the Tetra Dualies will get punished. Pneumonia does go in with Cooler and those fizzies painting a lot of zone. The Kraken fight happening here on this right stack, but it will end up going in favor of actually Wavebreaker, as with 3 players down for one-shot leader, they are able to finally being able to take control of the zone.
I mean, yeah, they're able to take control into zone, but one-shot leader are still on the outskirts. Rappa's gonna go down. Unfortunately, one member's gonna go down for one-shot leader. So Wavebreaker, even though they are a little bit down, they are not out of this just yet. Only 12 points separate these 2 teams, but one-shot leader, they're gonna eat through their penalty relatively soon. If Wavebreaker can't do anything to at least stop it, no, they aren't. So there we go. One-shot leader able to slowly march their way down to 25 points remaining. A minute left to go in this game. So if you're Wavebreaker, you gotta do something, at least establish some control. That's a good start with one member going down. The rest are trying to get in, but the Kraken is doing a really good job of separating them, at least for now. So that's gonna work out for a little bit, but Wavebreaker able to break through and actually get a couple members down.
Indeed they are. Really well done from them. The slash down there just to paint control zone. 40 seconds left into the match here. One-shot leader trying to take the fight to Wavebreaker, and it's actually working out pretty well. Taking that 2-for-2 trade, a great shot there. Manages to take out Harsh, and you see C at the bottom here doing blaster things, camping those ledges, applying that pressure. 25 seconds left. The one-shot leader just trying to go straight for the knockout here. The E leader is taken out before the Kraken can be used. 10 ticks left here. The players on Wavebreaker just trying to jump in, desperate, but no. That is it there. Wavebreaker getting knocked out there seals the deal for game number 1, as really, really well done there. One-shot leader take that first one.
I mean, hey, they just did their game plan. I mean, what else is there to say, really? They got their frontliners, mainly C and Enraged Jeff, into position. They got a lot of the members of Wavebreaker to look at them, so they weren't looking at the zone. A lot of paint wasn't going down at the zone, and just worked out really, really well for them. So I think if you're a one-shot leader, I think this is your game plan. Like, it's got you this far. It's just keep Enraged Jeff and C in basically the back line of the enemy team, and just have that work out for you as best as possible. And unfortunately for Wavebreaker, even though they put up a really good fight, it was just they got overwhelmed at the very end. Nothing really else to say.
Indeed, indeed. Really using those weapons to their advantage. A very unusual comp, by the way, from One-Shot Leader. But being able to really use the geometry of Macomart to their advantage. Obviously, Tri-Slosher being a slosher can really get to some angles that you typically won't be able to hit if you're on a weapon such as a shot. Same thing with that custom blaster, being able to camp the ledges and applying pressure in different and unique ways is what One-Shot Leader did well here. However, game number 2, it's ship-shaped cargo tower control, so we could see the return on blasters from both sides.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, first we go to Makomore, which is a very blaster favorite map, and now we go to tower control, a very blaster favorite mode. So I wouldn't be surprised if both teams decide to stick with it, because for the most part, it worked out really well for both of them. It really did kind of make both teams, I don't want to say be honest, but it made them a bit more cautious of dropping to ledges. Now, as we go to ship-shaped cargo, you do have the pit area at the bottom left that could be very dangerous or very helpful for blasters. You have, of course, the bridges. They can be very helpful for blasters. You have that little the alley, the little choke point. The left hand side can be very dangerous for blasters. So we're gonna see what these teams decide to go with, as I believe that's both teams have the exact same comp, I want to say. Yes, they do.
Yep, running it back here, the really main differences, you see the light Tetra Doolies and the Junior for one side, on the other the Zap and Jeff Sploosh. So definitely some different types of weapons, but honestly pretty similar here, as you see Wavebreaker will take the first strike, winning that 1v1 E-Leader duel in favor, taking out Pneumonia there. Now you see with that, Wavebreaker able to move up a little bit. However, they do quickly lose numbers advantage, forced to jump out. Just the light Tetra Doolies is on this left side, trying to take the fight to them. You see the Reef going in, but will get quickly traded out, as Pneumonia able to punish that well.
I mean, yeah, we're going to see One-Shot Leader get to that first checkpoint. Actually, 3 members are going to go down. The Rapid, the last member remaining, actually able to keep themselves alive, but now begins the very long trek up Mount Everest that is this very, this distance between the first and second checkpoints. And maybe Wavebreaker can try to get in, but the Splash has some other words to say about it, as One-Shot Leader climbed it like it was absolutely nothing, able to at least get to that second checkpoint. Torch is going to go down there as well, so like a hot knife through butter, One-Shot Leader able to break through that second checkpoint, making their way towards the goal. Wavebreaker is trying to get there, but the wipeout will seal it, and One-Shot Leader just hands down, very good, just 100-0, good game, GG's, good job, really.
I could tell that was happening a lot quicker than you could really process it. I agree. I mean, that happened a lot faster than I would have processed too, because all of a sudden you blink and they're past the first one and they're past the second one, and that is the knockout into the goal. I mean, that's just quick pressure, quick firing, and I mean, One Shot Leader just know where to position themselves so well. Earlier, you saw Enraged Jeff position themselves where you see that right now, where you see the E-Leader positioned on your screen right now, just pushing so far up, constantly applying pressure and taking the fight to them no matter what. I mean, there is no breaks on this team, and we saw it right there, and just nothing Wavebreaker could do, because the second they were staggered, they were constantly forced to try to win these fights, and it just didn't really work out for them. So now hopefully on game 3 they can properly try to recover themselves here, because a loss will force them into the 3rd place match, eliminating themselves from contention for the #1 spot. But before I get ahead of myself, let's take a look at game 3. Barnacle and Dime Clams will be that game.
Yeah, and I think if you're Wavebreaker, I think I know it's as simple as this sound, just don't stagger. Like, I think what we saw, especially from that second game, was that once one member went down, then another one went down, and then it's like a cycle, basically, and that kind of kept them, down, and that kind of kept One Shot Leader just doing what they do. So if you're Wavebreaker, the first thing I would say is just like, don't stagger, group up as a team, and just use your specials together. But we're going to see as we go to game number 3, as we're going to see no changes from either side. So, hey, if it ain't broke, you ain't got to fix it.
Indeed, indeed. And now what we see awaiting us actually from the side of Wavebreaker, we'll switch over to that shot. Maybe just to provide some more killing power there with that Zuka could provide a little bit of a wrinkle that the Junior doesn't. But right off rip, you see Wavebreaker being able to pop that cooler. Both sides initially did lose a player here, so numbers advantage still pretty even. Actually, now the shot going down. Now 2 players going down for Wavebreaker here, looking really, really dangerous now. As although they're back fast, they will lose some ground off of the back of that. And you see how fast One Shot Leader are able to benefit from that. You see already 15 clams in their pocket. However, the players quickly fall as the Iron Wall, the reinforcements have arrived for Wavebreaker.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the idea behind One Shot Leader. You have Enraged Jeff, you have Horse on this blaster. You just have these players that can move, or actually, sorry, C on the blaster, my bad. You have these players that can move very, very quickly, and you just put up so much pressure. Unfortunately, Wavebreaker is slowly falling to that. Actually, never mind, as one is going to go down to the reef side. Unfortunately, Enraged Jeff is going to quickly clean that up, and Wavebreaker's push attempts, despite looking a little promising, is going to shut down really quickly.
Indeed, really, really quickly, as a matter of fact. And now an opportunity for actually One Shot Leader to get back into the swing of things, as the map is now basically reset back to how it was at the beginning. Pretty even, slight clam advantage in the favor of One Shot Leader, sure, but you see Enraged Jeff already quickly managing to form that super clam. They're just waiting for an opportunity to strike, and this opportunity could be very, very soon. You see Cooler being popped, being collected by all 4 members of One Shot Leader, and Enraged Jeff is already so far in, trying to position himself for the hammer. Will get taken out, yes, but the space that they made could provide already another opportunity to move in. You see the ball just waiting on the floor there. If one will actually be formed and make its way into the goal. Now the second one tries to find its way in, and Enraged Jeff with that hammer just trying to be the distraction manages to buy some space, and the continuous push of One Shot Leader is still going up. You see C trying to throw some more clams and already down to 40.
I mean, they're just throwing bodies at Wavebreaker, and it's so far, it's working out. And Enraged Jeff's gonna go in again, get another power in, down to 4 points remaining. Enraged Jeff has the final 2 clams, looking to find a way on a little bit of the pedestal right there, and that will be 100-0. One Shot Leader, another very, very strong game, and unfortunately, Wavebreaker, you were just in the way of a tank, and that was unfortunate for them. But One Shot Leader looking very, very strong, making their way to finals. And if you're Wavebreaker, that's gotta sting. That's just gotta sting.
That's gotta sting indeed. A really strong performance, another dominant win from One Shot Leader. But I mean, I don't really blame Wavebreaker too much, because One Shot Leader just had this aggressiveness that not a lot of teams really have in them. The coordination, the constant pressuring, and really just forcing Wavebreaker on the back foot so many times. There's just not much you can do. I mean, they did a solid job for the first 2 minutes of just being able to prevent those pushes, but something finally gave way, and that crack got bigger and bigger, and eventually the entire wall crumbled, and just unfortunate for Wavebreaker there. But One Shot Leader, really nice done, punches their way into the finals. Wavebreaker, though, still have another set to play. That is between either they will face Honkai, or they will either fight Bucket in the third place match there, but that remains to be seen, as Honkai and Bucket are actually 1-1 in the other semifinals matchup, and the winner of that will be facing who we just saw put on a dominating performance, One Shot Leader, in the finals.
Yeah, so if you're a one-shot leader, have at least a couple minutes to kind of, get the sweat off your hands, grab something to drink, grab something to eat, and just kind of refresh. And I can say the same for our audience here, as we're gonna take a quick break, so as you give a little bit of time to refresh yourself, as in a couple minutes we have our finals coming up for you. So hey, be ready, because they got some more action coming up to you in a little bit.
Come at me.
shadows of mass destruction. Deep within the gun wounds, you can put your fate, destiny into the tomb. Hardest thing to do is changing who you are now to who you wanna be soon. First enemies inside us already. Whoever make it out may be ready for the battle. It's fearless, you better be ready. Not only winning, but the losing. No, it brings experiences for a bigger win later. Persevere for the greater good. Imagine later would maybe annihilator. Taking down the agitators, the violators, the glitter or the dark until we reach final layer. So who we up against? Vicious and brutal. Moment of truth, there ain't no truce. You're the only one world, one love, but the battle goes on. Shadows of mass destruction.
Come at me.
Well, welcome back. This is going to be it for Prism Break 25, this last set here, and it's between two teams who we just saw earlier. As a little refresher, my name is Rocket, joined by Topic, usually here
Hello.
on the second half. Yep, there you are, Topic. Second half of Prism Breaks here, but we got two teams we just saw on stream, and yeah, what are your thoughts on this matchup, Topic? We saw a little bit of what both teams like to run. Honkai running that double crab that has just been so oppressive, and on the other side, One Shot Leader running a very aggressive comp, obviously signified, and the backbone of their comp being that leader.
I mean, okay, I think as we get into this set, there's going to be a very obvious matchup, in my opinion. It's going to be Enraged Jeff versus the Crab Party. Like, it's going to be, because I don't believe Honkai is going to go over or switch from the double crab since it works so well for them. So I do think they're going to keep it, especially on our first map mode, the vanilla ice cream of Splatoon 3, Hagglefish Market, Flat Zones. Yeah, but yeah, so I don't expect a lot of changes, right? I do think that both teams, especially, are gonna stay with what they know, since we saw from the previous set, One Shot Leader. Those game 2 and 3 against Wavebreaker were 100 to 0, where they just looked in control the entire game. Now, on the flip side, Honkai, kind of the same thing, I would say. No, though not quite. It was a lot more competitive in their first set that we saw, but I also think that it could be a very strong team. With Double Crab, it could be a problem.
It can be a problem indeed, but I mean, have you ever seen Whack-A-Mole? I mean,
Yes.
I feel like that's what One Shot Leader should do.
I've played Whack-A-Mole before, yes.
I feel like that's what Enraged Jeff should do against those double crabs. They really just bonk them in place, really just provide an area to really go into. But, I mean, interesting enough as well, that leader can also provide that firepower as well, so maybe just shut down the crab before it can even be set up in positions. But yeah, that's definitely something that One Shot Leader is going to need to do collectively as a team. Not allow Honkai to set up, because I mean, we saw how well One Shot Leader was able to defeat Wavebreaker in a really good fashion just by not allowing them to really settle in, never allowing them to be comfortable. And I feel like whoever is going to be able to do that best, whether it being Honkai or One Shot Leader, being able to make your opponent uncomfortable, whoever's able to do that will have that advantage there for sure and really allow themselves to build up that pressure.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening, especially on this map, Hagglefish, mainly because whichever team gets the first 3 down and wipeout scenario, right? You could move up very, very quickly. I would not be surprised if we see if we see both teams send their frontliners, whether it be Woomy with the dualies on Honkai, whether it be Jeff being Jeff with a sploosh on One Shot Leader. I would not be surprised if we see them try just go as far up as possible. Just pedal to the metal, all gas, no brake. What's a brake pedal? I don't know. They just go, 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 go. So just to kind of keep them off balance, right? Because I think what we saw from Honkai was they had a much more mobile backliner right? They had the heavy edit, which kind of supports them. It can like move around very, very effectively. It can push up. It can provide that support, that paint support, really, really, really well. Meanwhile, on the side of One Shot Leader, you have the titular One Shot with the titular Leader. So a lot slower of a backliner. So you're, I don't want to say they're disconnected, but they kind of are, if that makes sense. Like, if you're Honkai, you're basically fighting 3 players plus a sniper. I know that sounds really weird, but there's like a space in between them, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you mean, and really trying to split that up, maybe trying to split up that structure that you have, or maybe lack thereof, however you want to look at it, and just try to be able to exploit that weakness, might be able to, that might be what you're trying to look for in terms of what Honkai wants to do, in terms of trying to throw off one-shot leader, but yeah, really interesting here to see how these dynamics are going to work between these two teams. I mean, as well, if I'm not mistaken, I believe One Shot Leader did have a blaster player as well. That custom blaster could
Correct.
provide. Yeah, that custom blaster could also provide that firepower, and also yet again another weapon that is just great at creating lockout situations. Yes, we are waiting for a fourth. The meme is alive. If you know, you know. Where is your fourth? But yes, the custom blaster could provide that ledge poking ability there, and really just provide another dimension, and just basically. I would think of like another trap of just like trying to push in. Yes, it has been 7 minutes here as we continue to ramble, but maybe we can ramble on a little bit more about what we might see in the rest of this set here, if we can see the rest of the map modes that may await us here for this one. I believe this is going to be a zone sandwich. Yep, there it is right there. Any of these map modes really stick out to you?
I really want to see Humpback, to be honest. Like, I think it'd be really fun, especially, Sploosh on Humpback, kind of broken. You just kind of do what you gotta do, and it just works out. The rest, hold on, is that Hagglefish twice? Are my eyes mistaken? Okay, so that is correct. Hagglefish 2, Electric Boogaloo, I guess. As we're gonna go back, I guess we love Hagglefish. There's nothing wrong with Hagglefish and Bossing Say. Anyways, I do think if we do get to a game 5, Rebel Ramen, that could also be one I really enjoy. I think most of these maps, with the exception of, I was like Haggle, it's weird to say, but I do think these maps are very close quarters. If that makes sense. Like, a majority of the fighting happens in close quarter situations where you are like right up against the other team. So for the most part, I think, other than Hagglefish twice, which kind of out of place, but other than that, it's pretty good.
I believe I just saw for a second that Prosper cooked fried rice. That is really nice of them to cook fried rice in the middle of a tournament. I mean, you always got to stay fueled up, Yeah.
I mean, hey, you can't game on an empty stomach.
That's true, and fried rice is a very good way to just quickly get sustenance. But anyways, as these teams ready up here, I am excited to see the conclusion of Prison Break number 25 here. This is no double elimination, so whoever wins this set wins it all. The loser will get second place here, but let's stop rambling, let's stop speculating, let's stop building up the suspense. Game 1, jumping straight into it. Let's see what we got in store for us. Will they be sticking with what we've seen so far?
Yeah, it looks like the answer is going to be no, actually. At least from one of the sides, as we're gonna see Honkai, instead of going for the double crab, Mila going over to the Zuka. So maybe that'll help at least a little bit with the E-leader on their side. But on the side of One Shot Leader, what we've seen before. They like what they want to run. They have the blaster, they have the spoosh, they have the zap, they have these very aggressive weapons, and so far it's working out for them, as Honkai are going to go 2 down immediately, and One Shot Leader making their mark known really, really quickly here, as they're just bringing the fight to Honkai as soon as possible, and Honkai doing at least a good job of responding for now.
Indeed, indeed. But you see Enraged Jeff on this right side managing to take out Woomy with that stamp there. You see the Kraken also going out as well. Specials are online for one-shot leader to try to make something happen. However, the zone is in very strong control of Honkai, managing to take a 2-for-2 trade. Really even trades here, and the lead as well. You see the edit on the side of Honkai managing to stay alive, anchoring, painting in, and you see now Honkai immediately flipped that fight right on its head.
I mean, yeah, as you can see, they're kind of doing what One Shot Leader did to them a little bit earlier. Unfortunately for Honkai, they are going to go 2 down here. So, Nilla has to play a little bit safe here, try to protect Woomy, able to get a trade out of it, so Woomy able to live for a little bit longer here. But Honkai, they are slowly marching down, getting it down to 31 points remaining. One Shot Leader trying to fight their way through. There's the Kraken coming out, there's Splatoon coming out, so they're able to at least neutralize it for a second. But Honkai, this paint is just insane at the moment so far. I think the contrast of going from the E-Leader to the heavy edit is really working out for them, as still One Shot Leader are trying their best to throw what they can at the zone. They're finally able to do something. Their 2 players are going to go down, 3 players of delayed wipe, but Honkai very, very strong lead, getting it down to 2 points remaining. But now this is a very, very dangerous spot for them because One Shot Leader are very far pushed up.
Indeed they are. Points can go pretty fast here too, so you cannot be careful. You cannot afford to waste too much time here if you're on the side of Honkai. You see Woomy already positioning themselves on top of that 10 with that Soul Crab. You see Taro on this edit as well, managing to find one. Also off of the back of that, managing to get cooler for the rest of the team to move in, and in a blink of an eye, the zone is yellow. You see Taro taking this left side, managing to find Enraged Jeff. Will go down though, and you see another duel happening over here on the left side as C comes out on top. Players falling from both sides, but eventually One Shot Leader will take the advantage there and take control back of the zone, although they will have penalty to eat through.
I mean, yeah, but they're eating it like they've been starving for a minute, as they're able to get a couple of points on, now down to 15 points remaining here. As Honkai, you see Woomy on a bit of a flank here, trying to do something, at least get some attention towards them. That's going to get a lot of attention with the Crab. It's able to work out for them as Honkai able to recapture the zone, at least push Enraged Jeff back, able to get the hammer without going down. Very, very clutch for them. See on a bit of a flank here at the bottom of your screen. They're going down as well if they're getting picked off. So Honkai, they stumbled a little bit, you know. One Shot Leader did get down to 37, but they very quickly recovered themselves, getting at least halfway their penalty right now.
Yeah, and now an opportunity for One Shot Leader to get back into it here, actually, though, as they do have 2 specials online if they so choose to use them here, but maybe just waiting for an opportunity to strike. You see the hammer go out early, maybe trying to get a cheeky pick. Doesn't quite find much, but almost out of their penalty is One Shot Leader, and with being able to stagger that Gal a little bit too, things are looking up for them. You see the E-Leader going in with that crack and almost managing to find one there, but with them going in, there's no one to protect the zone, and Honkai was able to manage to paint that zone in a very quick way. Yet again, this has been such a back and forth match. Obviously, is now still favoring Honkai, as they just really have to eat through that penalty pretty much. With 2 on the board, One Shot Leader needs to go for that knockout situation.
I mean, listen, I think Honkai is doing a really great job of using One Shot Leader's biggest strength against them. You see that they're so aggressive. You see that Honkai is getting members behind them and painting the zone completely. That's kind of the Achilles heel of One Shot Leader, at least at the moment, as they've been really aggressive. That's leaving their backsides open, as so far a bunch of members will go down here. The Kraken's going to come out. Samuel's going to go down to Kavi. They're looking for another one, not quite able to find it just yet. Splashdown is not going to get them staying alive. 30 or 20 seconds left in this game. Honkai looking very, very strong. 5 ticks remaining on their penalty points. Only 1 member will be there for One Shot Leader and Honkai. I see you. Okay. Very, very strong game from them, as, you know what? They're looking good. They're looking good.
They're looking really good there. Really well done from them. A great recovery from what looks like a very typical
Precarious.
Precarious situation. A typical start for One Shot Leader, like we saw them against Wavebreaker, but Honkai able to recover really effectively. And now, one of my favorite map modes, probably actually my top one, just my favorite map mode, Humpback Pump Track Rainmaker. This is where chaos is born. I love to see it, and actually, if you take a look at the team comps that we saw there, at least from game one, maybe you can see a little bit of a more favorable matchup here for One Shot Leader in terms of the weapons you have in Rage Jeff on that sploosh, basically hammer machine, and that blaster as well.
Mm. I mean, yeah, I could see it just looking at the weapons themselves. One Shot Leader, they have these more mobile weapons that can take advantage of these kind of hilly areas, but we don't even have time to discuss as both these teams are just raring to go. They're chomping at the bits. We're going to see no changes from the side of Honkai. From One Shot Leader, no changes as well. So they're just ready to gut right back into this. Maybe Honkai looking to extend their lead to 2-0. One Shot Leader looking to at least stop the momentum as soon as possible. What we're going to see here is the pop going to go very quickly in the side of One Shot Leader, but Honkai able to at least paint up and not give him any space to work with. Unfortunately, one's going to go down, so not a good start. That's the start you really want.
Indeed, trades are going out from both sides. You see Wumi managing to actually stay alive and win that fight against Enraged Jeff. That is a huge fight to win as 3 players fall for One Shot Leader. However, the last player standing, I believe that is CS, on that custom blaster, manages to at least help in that little scrimmage there in mid. Will unfortunately go down to that trade. It has just been a back and forth brawl in mid. The Rainmaker has not really made any progress on both sides. Yes, might be moved a little bit by Honkai, but so far, no team has been able to really muster up a strong push.
I mean, hey, so far 81's all Honkai needs, but One Shot Leader's gonna be there. Unfortunately, One Shot's leader's not gonna be there as they're gonna get sniped out by Neela's Zuka. Very good job for them. Honkai, unfortunately, is gonna go 2 down. Rage are gonna go down to the Rainmaker, or to Wumi. They're protecting the Rainmaker for a little bit here as Honkai down to 6 points remaining. So they've been doing a really good job of protecting their flanks. They've been doing a really good job at kind of keeping Enraged Jeff and C at bay. They've been making sure that they cannot do a whole lot of damage. Okay, I should, you know what? Okay. Commentator's curse.
Not doing a lot of damage. Watch this as they get a wipeout there. Basically lining up a orange curtain in the ink of all orange there, allowing One Shot to get that checkpoint there. Now, the easy part technically is done. This is the difficult part, managing to push through here, but One Shot manages to find Nilla. That's a great opening start. You see a flanking Crab, I think, on the other side, drawing the attention of 3 members of One Shot Leader, but now they're actually managing to at least move forward a little bit. They do have to worry about this edit, though. This edit is placed in such a great position, just providing that artillery fire, that machine gun fire, pretty much, into the side of One Shot Leader. With that 3 players fall, Wumi managing to find C, won't quite find much more as that is a delayed wipe now in favor of Honkai, able to recover well and now are looking to try to perform a counterattack.
I mean, yeah, but they're trying to get in the spot for as C is going to go down, so that's going to be really helpful for Honkai. Hold on, 2 members down in Rage Jeff forced back. They're able to find Kabi. Honkai able to get the lead to 32 points. 8 points separate these 2 teams. Unfortunately, Honkai will get wiped out, or not quite wiped out, but will go 3 down here. So, unfortunately for Honkai, One Shot Leader are going to be all there, already at their front door, knocking at the door, trying to barge their way in. Wumi's gonna be there, not gonna be enough. They're gonna go down. 17 points remaining for One Shot Kill. A wipeout outside of Honkai, seizing the bus through that Rainmaker shield with the splashdown, and that will do it. One Shot Leader will fight back after, a little bit of a stumble, losing game 1, and a little bit of a slow start in game 2. They're able to just kind of bust the door down. Like they were looking for something. They just did what they did. What can I say?
Knock, knock, knock. FBI, open up. That's basically what I just said.
That's what I was thinking.
That's exactly what I saw. Their great minds think alike. But yeah, really good recovery from One Shot Leader there. But I mean, this is what we kind of expect to see. I mean, they're in grand finals for a reason. We kind of expected to keep it close. And now moving on to game 3. I hope no one was missing Hagglefish Market too much, but if in case you were, do not fret. We're coming right back to it. This time on power control though. Here, I mean, that's a little bit of a whiplash, a little like type of thing. It's like, well, back to it. But anyways, Hagglefish Tower is it's obviously a different mode, but it plays a little bit differently for that as well though.
I mean, yeah, because the tower is forced to go on that right-hand side, which is a really, really, I won't say hard to push to, but if you get nobody up on that top left side, it's very hard to get through, right? Because like it's very defender favored because you are working your way up towards the to the goal. So if you're on the defending side, or no, if you're on the attacking side, sorry, I think priority number one is to make sure that you at least get control of the stairs or the ramp. If you get control of the ramp, you can pretty easily shoot up to the top left side and clear out a path.
Indeed, indeed. And now, what waits for us? Probably Blaster again. I mean,
Blaster.
Blaster. We
Yeah.
love Blaster, but
love Blaster.
I mean, yeah, the important part about this map mode is it's similar to, I mean, Inkblot Art Academy, which you see there in Game 4. It's similar to Inkblot Art Academy Tower in that you're forcing yourself to go up this hill. You're forcing yourself to take disadvantaged fights there where you don't have exactly the right angles. But I mean, in terms of weapons you want to pick for those type of engagements, I mean, two of the weapons are there for one-shot leader. I mean, you have that sploosh to really just close the gap quickly, and you have C to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna ledge camp you.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, neither team has brought GG strikes, so they feel confident in what they got. So I can't really blame them. They're kind of neutral right now. Looking for an opening pick as Kabi will go down on side of Honkai. So maybe what one-shot leader needs. Hammer is gonna come out for Enraged Def, able to find Taro in the background, looking for a little bit more, going to support their team. Unfortunately, not able to find anything with the Hammer, but two down on either side. Another one will go down as well. Looks like one-shot leader will take at least a little bit of a lead with only 2 points though. So not a very big lead as Honkai very quickly able to capture that lead and get a little bit more out of it.
Indeed, indeed. Now you see the crab there for Rumi in a great position on this side, and I'm seeing a lot of blue on the map here. Topic as that tower continues to move forward, a cooler to boot as well. Things are looking good for Honkai here as they continue to chug along. They need to constantly apply this pressure though if they want to go forward, but as soon as I say that, 3 players fall, forcing that edit to just run for the hills, live to fight another day, and a great recovery from one-shot leader, sure, but if you're on the side of Honkai, I'm sure you're at least satisfied with that push, at least getting out one checkpoint.
I mean, yeah, you got the one, and possibly you're in striking distance for the second checkpoint, but one-shot leader is getting these members of Honkai down again. Kabi gonna go down as well. Wumi, unfortunately, not able to jump out in time, so that's not what you want to see. But if you're a one-shot leader, you're looking golden right now. As you see, the members of Honkai are gonna at least back up for a moment. C's gonna go down with the blaster. So unfortunately, actually no, 2 are gonna go down for side of one-shot leader. So as quickly as that good as push that was looking, Honkai just shut that down really, really quickly. So one-shot leader are again going to be on their back foot once again.
Indeed, they are. Booming Bacon is shooting at that 1-for-1 trade with C there on that custom blaster. Now you see pushing up with the whales a little bit. Honkai is trying to create some space. No one's on the tower. Finally, someone is on the tower there. And yet again, Wumi is in another crab here, trying to take the fight to them. However, yet again, no one is on the tower here. It looks like Honkai are pretty content at least just kind of playing keep away. But it's a little bit early to do that, kind of. I mean, you're halfway through it, but it is a more conservative move, might be a smarter move here. Unfortunately, 3 players of Honkai do go down there, so now one-shot leader with this, with them playing a little bit more casually, Honkai that is, one-shot leader is able to retake this space pretty effectively.
Yeah, they're able to take this space. One-shot actually managed to find Wumi, who's on has the worst side of every single special every time they jumped in, so very unfortunate for them. But one-shot leader looking to apply a lot of pressure on the side of Honkai's 2 members are gonna go down, looking to push a little bit forward, looking to get through this first checkpoint, which they're gonna at least get to. Maybe actually no one for Honkai is gonna be there to at least stop it for now. The Zuka is able to stall it for a little bit longer, but the rest of Honkai are gonna be there to kind of collapse on the tower, so that will be the end of the first push for one-shot leader. But Honkai's defense has really solidified right now, so as we enter the final 90 seconds of the game, it's still very close.
It's close indeed. Really, all it takes is one push in a match this close like this. One moment, one opportunity. Eminem, sorry. It's like, I did not mean to do that on purpose, but I ended up doing. Anyways, though, Wumi managed to get a nice backstab, managed to find 2, one-shot, and C ends that push right there. And 3 players down. They could continue to look for more picks here and taking more space. Already positioning themselves on that little platform with that crab, just overlooking the entirety of, oh, never mind, a bomb finds their way into that, shutting down Woomy there. But with a minute left, again, one-shot leaders still have plenty of time to really get back into this here, but they need to recollect themselves as Honkai, at this point, playing keep away is a very, very good strategy now.
I mean, it's a good strategy. It was also a very, very dangerous game because one-shot leader, they want to be as close as possible. They want to be in your face, so let them get too close. Your house of cards can fall very, very quickly. But C's gonna go down once again. 30 seconds remaining. Jeff is gonna go down as well. Samuel's going down as well. So 3 members of one shot leader are gonna go down. Woman's going down once again. So if you're Honkai, you're looking very, very strong. And again, if you're a one shot leader, you gotta go for tower. You have 15 seconds remaining. You have to get on the tower. You have to get Honkai down. You just have to go, go, go. If you're Honkai, you got to be really, really aware of that. Copy with a bit of a flank. Able to get one. No blaster for one shot. Is going to be very dangerous. Another one's going down as well. Looking for the triple kill. Is able to get it. And that will be the game sealing triple with Honkai taking it. And now forcing a one shot leader into a do or die situation here at the very end.
Avi, take a bow. Really well done there. 1, 2, 3. That's all they wrote. And now, setting up Honkai in a very, very favorable position here. Now, looking to just close things out. Not trying to give one-shot leader any chance of stealing this one back from them. But, I mean, if they do, that's okay. You still have that little bit of buffer zone. I mean, you are up now 2-1 in the set, but I'm sure they're looking to just end it as soon as possible here. But yeah, really well done from just all players of Honkai. You saw Woomy just repeatedly, time and time again, on those dualies, just getting that crab up in such great positions, providing more just pressure just based on the crab's positioning there. Yes, that last crab was canceled out by a well-placed bomb, but that has just been the bread and butter of what Honkai likes to do. Just really push off of these crabs.
Whoa, okay. These teams are just ready to go as we're getting straight into it. No even time to think about the last game, as they're looking to either end this or extend this as quick as possible. Honkai just looking to say, hey, we are done. One-shot leaders looking to say, hey, we aren't going anywhere. We're gonna see what that entails for us as Women's going down again right away as we are in Clan Blitz Inkball Art Academy. So unfortunately, if you're a one-shot leader, they're gonna go 2 down right away. So maybe this will be Honkai's chance to push.
Indeed it is here, and they continue to see. Let's see if they can continue their success, as Honkai actually have a very slim clam advantage here already off of this first fight. See if managing to get away with that pick there, and actually 3 players of one-shot of Honkai do go down, so that could open up the doors for a one-shot leader to get in their first push. You want to get under that threshold though, and you want to make this push as good as possible though. Time is running out. See finally does throw some clams in there to maybe extend the life of that push a little bit, but that's immediately shut down as 2 players fall, now 3, and just like that, Honkai are back into it.
Yeah, maybe call it a bit of a desperation push to get some momentum on your side. We'll be able to find one. Unfortunately, Nilla's going to go down, but maybe it's a desperation from the side of one shot leader to get them some momentum onto their side, as C is going to go down once again. So we're going to see Honkai slowly decreasing the space. 3 are going to go down, actually. That's a delayed wipeout for one shot leader. Honkai able to get the lead down to 68 points remaining. Let's see, 1 is going to go back for the power. Will they able to jump it in is the question. It looks like the answer will be no to that. Woomy isn't trying to get in, able to get a trade out of it, but not a whole lot more. So that will be the end of the push. So Honkai able to get the lead and at least get a bit of separation from one-shot leader.
Indeed. And now, still a slim lead though, and we're only 2 minutes underway through this match topic, so a lot can change in that amount of time. All it takes is one push for things to change in a matter of moments here. And Rage Jeff trying to make something happen will be found out and snuffed out by Nilla, but all 4 members of One Shot Leader do go down, and with that barrier break, the basket left wide open, undefended. Zuka will find one as well, trying to poke at another, and that lead just extended just now to around 51, and I mean, I said before, it only takes one moment, one push, and still the clans are managing to find their way in. Now down to 11, a huge opportunity for Honkai, and they took full advantage of it. Now in the driver's seat of this game, this is their game to lose.
I mean, yeah, if you're one shot leader, you have to try to at least get some shovels to start digging your way out of this one. But they're going to go 3 down once again in Rage Chef, the last member remaining. You're going to see them here at least try to put some pressure onto Honkai's Plaid. Not a whole lot's going to come out of it. They're going to be forced to back away. 2 minutes remaining in this game. Honkai, all the momentum's in their favor. They're in the driver's seat at the moment. They're the ones deciding where they're going to go. Wumi's going to go down for them, unfortunately, but one shot leader. Maybe it might be desperation, but they're just taking a lot of bad fights, Samuel. They're able to get a couple pick there. They're taking a lot of bad fights, I would say, and they're kind of like suffering the consequences of it, at least for now.
I mean, but Honkai is forcing them to take these bad fights. I mean, they're fighting pretty well together as a coordinated group, forcing these 2-on-1s that make it look like that one-shot leader are making several mistakes, but Honkai just trying to amplify that here. But still, if you're one-shot leader, you cannot afford to stagger now. You need to regroup together, take a little bit of a breather, take things one step at a time, as now it is do or die time. Final minute of this match here. What can you do? You need to start off with at least getting back control mid so you can get these clams, build up your clam economy a little bit more.
I mean, yeah, that's a good start, getting 3 members down upon, so you have at least some space to work with. You have some breathing room, but you see Kabi here in a bit of a flank, looking out for them, able to get Samuel the ball. It will be down. 2 members are going to go down, looking for one shot. They're going to go down as well. 4 seconds remaining in the game, and Rage Chef is going to go down as well. This will be a delayed wipeout for one shot kill Honkai. They are just looking very, very dominant right now. C's going to go down, looking for a one-shot, not able to quite get them, but 2 members of Honkai are going to go down instead, and Rage Chef able to find a 3rd member. That'll be a wipeout. 20 seconds remaining in this game. One-shot leader already trying to get into position here to score as quick as possible. One shot able to get the power in, but will they be in the follow-up to get the lead? Maybe not, as the ball will go down. 3 members are going to down. Another one's going to go down. This will be a wipeout. Final 5 seconds of the game. One shot leader nowhere in sight. The ball will disappear, and with the game symbols, with the game tape over the match, that will do it. Honkai, after a really good game 1, a kind of rocky game 2, just 2 back-to-back really solid games, and with that, they will be your winners of this set, and they will walk away as winners of Prism Break number 25. Very good for them.
I mean, really well done from start to finish. I mean, in the diamond bracket, they only dropped 3 matches there. They never lost more than 2 per thing. They never really let the set really get away from them in any of those sets. So really well done for them to just keep the collective pushes going, being able to apply that pressure early there, and being able to just keep away. That's these situations you want to set yourself up when, and if you're able to set yourself up for success, you can really just roll with it, and that's what Honkai was able to do. And I mean, what a monster of a push here you're seeing on your screen right now. Basically the game winning push already only halfway through the match there, and it really just allowed Honkai to kind of just bunker down and force one shot to play from behind, and that's just how they want to operate. Honkai, that is, so GG's to them. They are your Prism Break 25 victors.
I mean, hey, they just, from word go, they were ready. Like, they did what they wanted. They played their game. Unfortunately, one shot leader. I think I said it earlier. There's kind of that disconnect between their E-leader in the back and then used 3 really aggressively frontline weapons that Honkai just kind of abused for the most part. They just took advantage of it. They kind of, I won't say beat, they kind of did bait the members of One Shot Leader in and then went around them, and it just worked out really well for them. So, hey, game plans work. That's really all I have to say.
For sure, they just played to their tempo, how they love to play, so that's why they won. They were able to really use that to their advantage. But with that, that will be the conclusion of this week's Prism Break 25. Already a quarter to 100. Would you look at that? Really well
Wow.
done there. Let's keep this going. Maybe we'll be at 100 yet, but that is in the near future. That is in the.
The
I won't
far
say.
future.
I mean,
Well,
it could be.
that's
It could
over
be
a
the near future.
year. That's over a
Nah,
year.
well, we got it. We got it.
We got
Topic.
it. We got it. We're like 3 a
But-
year or 3 a week.
Yeah, we got it. But anyways, with that, we will be saying goodbye. But before we do so, Topic, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me over on Twitter and Blue Sky at Topic2. Find me over on Discord at Topic2. And well, while I'm here, I might as well if you are in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area on April 5th. I know it's a little bit out the way, but yeah. There's first off, Booyah Bays at the end of the month, but also Big Dapple 7 will be happening April 5th. It's really fun New York land. You should come. It's great. Anyways, Rocky, what about you?
You can find me at Rocket Splat on Twitter, not that active, at Rocket1 on Blue Sky, much more active there. So definitely check me out there. And H-Town plug, since you did your land, I'm going to do mine. H-Town Splashdown number 4. It's going to be happening in Houston. It's going to happen on the 8th. I will be there. I will be yapping. So yeah, for sure, be on the lookout for that. That is a land qualifier. So is Big Dapple as well. But these land qualifiers, they're going to be something to watch for sure. But yes, thank you all for watching us. And yeah, definitely do your map voting as always.
Map
I
voting.
always forget those. We always keep forgetting those map votings. But they're super, super important if you want to pick what you want to play. Thank you for Jordan for being our voices in our head, being our wonderful streamer. I think that'll be it for us. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. But Topic, of course, you have something to say at the end.
Yes, of course, everyone, please have a good night, have a good day tomorrow, have a good week, but always remember, never stop disturbing the peace.